This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Oh, yeah. We are ready. Good morning. It's a Super Monday, right? I guess, right? It's Super Monday. Well, I'm sure it's Super Monday in Chiefs land with that victory yesterday as they came back to win it. And it was one of those where, I got to tell you, I don't think anybody nailed this Super Bowl better than I did, okay? I pretty much said it was going to be a slow first half. I told you that they would win. We went with the under, by the way. It's 2 weeks in a row where you, me, and Steve, 2 out of 3 because we had an off week, but 2 out of 3 where we're on a roll there. We got the under and the Chiefs win on that one. So, and what did I tell you guys? That the Chiefs defense would be a key in this game. And that's exactly what happened. They weren't dominant because they weren't going to be dominant. But I told you that they would make some plays, and that's exactly what happened. And listen, yesterday was one of those days where I would tell you that the universe made sense. Everything kind of fell into place, okay? And those of you out there that are 49ers fans, look, I apologize, and I'm sorry about this. I don't mean in a way that you didn't deserve to win a title because you guys had a great season, a great defense, and you had the opportunity to win it. But there is nothing better than watching Andy Reid win that championship. Okay? I'm not a Kansas City fan. I'm not a San Fran fan. But I am an Andy Reid fan. I think a lot of people are. Anybody that has watched football for a long time, you have to admire Andy Reid. It has to be in your DNA. Maybe you're a Cowboys fan or something and you have that hatred when he was an Eagles coach or whatever, but you have to appreciate what Andy Reid is all about as a human being, all the things that he's gone through personally, obviously. And then, he had to live also with something for a long time. And we've watched others have to live with that monkey on their backs. It's a monkey that becomes a King Kong gorilla, right? And, well, Andy Reid can't win the big game. And I used to kind of, get into the discussion with people about this. So what you're telling me is he's a bad coach and you can't get it done? Well, no, he can't win the bad game. He's not good enough. Dude, have you watched him? He develops coaches that become NFL head coaches. He develops quarterbacks left and right. He wins all the time. Hey, look, sometimes you need everything to kind of align for you to win that championship. And finally, everything aligned for him to win that championship. He had the right quarterback, not one that was throwing up in the huddle. You know what I'm saying? And so he had a good enough defense. He made the switch to Spagnuolo, which obviously made a difference. And they made some additions on defense. And then this is a guy that has kind of fought through all of this throughout his whole career. You know, he wins a whole bunch of games. He has another winning season. He gets Alex Smith to play in an aggressive nature that he's never played before. You know, he developed Donovan McNabb. You name it. And now he drafted and developed this kid. I mean, Andy Reid has done it all. And he has the respect of everybody in the NFL. And I think a lot of people kind of felt that, you know, that for not a lot of times things in life work out for the right people. And sometimes we see players or coaches have to walk out, whether it's Marty Schottenheimer never sees a championship, or Dan Marino never sees a championship, or Ernie Banks. And we could just go on and on and on and on and on and talk about the different players and coaches and Marv Levy and people that you know deserve to celebrate a championship, and they just did not get that opportunity because things did not fall into place. And for Andy Reid, he's had to live with a personal hell every single year because he has to deal with those of you out there that think he's not really a great coach because he hasn't won the big one. So in some people's eyes, Marv Levy isn't great because his Buffalo team didn't win it that one time, which it's ridiculous. Marv Levy is one of the great coaches of all time. But because he doesn't win the championship, you know, and it's so unfair, and it's unfair that some of them have to then retire and then carry. I did a segment on Saturday where, I think it was Saturday or Friday, where all of the negative stories around the Super Bowl. Well, what about if this guy loses and that guy loses, and Mahomes looks like a lot like Marino? You get there early and you never get back, and it's like, you've already got him losing? You've got Pat Mahomes losing and never coming back. And I'm like, can we just wait till it actually happens? And then maybe we'll talk about it, then we'll compare it. And then I hated it because then my guy Dan Marino has to be brought up again over and over. And so we got to remind Marino that he went early and never went back again. Like he doesn't hear it himself in his mind constantly. Come on. You know, it gets to a point where it's kind of ridiculous, right? Let's create a negative storyline. And why don't we just actually write what's going on right now? It's an exciting moment for Pat Mahomes. He's a young guy. Can you imagine him winning the Super Bowl? Which he does win it, and he becomes the youngest guy to win the Super Bowl MVP and the league MVP. So why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about the greatness of the kid? You know what I mean? Why don't you talk about how great Andy Reid is as a coach and what he has done? Instead of, well, if Andy comes up short again and all that, well, wait till he comes up short. Then you can talk about it, like Shanahan, and we'll get to that. That's when you talk about it, when it's kind of, but that's kind of what was underlined throughout the week, right? It's the negative, you know, story about that guy and this guy and that guy, and nothing's happened yet. Yet we already want to paint it into a negative. It's just really weird. So for me personally, I love that Andy Reid does not have to live with that demon anymore. He doesn't have to deal with the idiots that say, yeah, he's a good coach, but there's no buts anymore. The guy won it. He deserved it. He has developed that franchise from scratch. He actually pulled, I don't know what's the closest thing to a Theo Epstein. You know, because Theo's thing is to eliminate 100 years of losing. Well, he eliminated 50. Not really losing, but 50 without winning a championship is what I mean. You understand what I'm saying. 50-year void. And the league's 100, right? So the Dolphins make the playoffs on average every 8 years, like 01, 08, 16. So the Chiefs now can't win another one for 50 years? Because you think about it, if the league's 100 and they won it 50 years ago in 1970, the league was 50 then. I'm just saying, Kansas City. Hey, we're not far behind you, okay? 73 for us. So we're only a couple years behind you there on trying to win one. Obviously, they went to a couple in the 80s, but didn't get it done. But I'm happy for Andy Reid. I really am. I just think that it's just something that he needed to kind of just get all that crap off of him. And now he openly gets that love that he deserves, even from the folks that think, well, he's not good enough. You can't say that anymore now. And who knows? Maybe this is Andy's time now. I don't know if this is going to turn into a dynasty. I have no idea. A lot of things have to happen for this to become a dynasty. You got to have things go your way. I listen. That there's something else when you look at this team and when you look at the Chiefs winning. Okay, this is the part that's kind of interesting with all of this. This is a likable bunch in every way, shape, and form. Andy Reid, likable. Pat Mahomes, likable. The Hunt family for Kansas City. It's like Rooney's. It's like the Maras. It's royalty. It's one of those families that you're like, okay, that's a real football family, right? I mean, his dad is the guy that started the AFL. His dad forced the merger of the AFL and the NFL. Right? So the Hunt family, a likable family too. The Chiefs, I think, are a likable franchise. While, I don't know, Ravens and Raiders and, certain teams have gone through and probably still in some ways, shape, and form because of the way they do things, they might not be liked by others. Kansas City's not that team. Everybody knows about their cookouts. Everybody admires Arrowhead. Everybody admires the Sea of Red. Everybody admires that fan base. It's like it's a likable situation. It's not really, it's that Midwest love, right? It's just one of those things that I think that's the other thing about this that is kind of cool, that it's a likable bunch. I mean, how do you not like Pat Mahomes? It's impossible not to like Pat Mahomes. You don't have to be a Chiefs fan. It's just flat out impossible to dislike him. It's flat out impossible to dislike Andy Reid. At the end of the game, he's praising his players. He's praising his assistant coaches. And then he follows up with, what about Kansas City and the organization and the fans? Because in the midst of him getting that damn King Kong off his back, he's not thinking about that. He doesn't mention, man, thank the Lord I finally got over the hump here and I don't have to hear from people. None of that. He's thanking everybody else. He's happy for the Chiefs kingdom. He's happy for the Hunt family. That's the selfless attitude that, again, is likable, is lovable about Andy Reid. It's just the way he comes off. The way you see players, you can tell they like him, they love him, they want to play for him. You know what I'm saying? It's impressive, man. I got to say, I am so freaking impressed with the way Andy Reid carries himself, the way the Chiefs have carried themselves. Most of those players, again, I mean, even Travis Kelce, his crazy ass is likable. One of those deals. I look at that team and it's easy to root for them. Obviously, the only team I want to see lifting that trophy is my Dolphins. And maybe one day, we'll get to see it. I don't know. But I will say this, that watching what went on last night, that was something that I think most of us kind of feel with them, that this is a bunch that got what they deserved, And we're talking about a team that was inches away from maybe winning two of these. and they finally got it this year. And who knows? We'll see. We'll see what obviously is set for them down the line, because eventually you got to pay people. And then that kind of gets in the way of you winning sometimes, because everybody wants to get paid. Everybody wants to get rewarded. And when that Pat Mahomes contract comes up, wow. Okay? Wow. It's going to be a hell of a contract, because he's going to go into his fourth year next year. And that's the contract negotiation year. You don't let him get to fifth. So something's going to happen either this offseason or sometime during the season of next year or next year's offseason. He will be signed to a monster contract. And you got to pay him. And you got no choice. And then that's when it becomes the hurdle of trying to keep everybody together. That's why it's important that they won early in this window, because you don't know when it closes. And when it does, it's over and you got no shot again. And then you've got to kind of reload and put yourself back in that spot. And we've talked about those windows of opportunity. And here you go. Team got to do it before they paid their quarterback. Now they got to pay their quarterback. They're going to go through some of the things that Seattle and Baltimore went through. After they had to pay their quarterback, they ended up losing pieces in a big-time way, because once you have success, everybody wants to get rewarded because of that success. Everybody feels it's part of, you had that success because of me. So it'll be interesting to see how they can keep it going, but likable bunch, man. There is no doubt that is a likable bunch. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there. Jay says, good morning, O. Great game yesterday. Looking forward to your post-game comments. Thank you, sir. Frank Moreno says, morning, Big O. What a game it was. It was a beautiful game. User Tom 6060. Good morning, guys. Thank you. Emilio, good morning, boys, from home in Wyandotte, Michigan. Finally home for a couple days. Well, enjoy, my friend. Myron says, I just want to congratulate the Chiefs. I blame my coach for the loss, and Myron, you should blame your coach for the loss. Man of 1,005 holds, Kyle Chokan does it again. Hey, that's a legitimate one. We'll get to that. What a comeback for the Chiefs. It was a good game. Let's see. Congratulations, Chad Henne and Matt Moore. And Damian Williams. Yeah, Damian Williams, you could say MVP, too. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs, the great state of Kansas. The Trump reference. You know about that? Trump tweets out yesterday on congratulating the Kansas City Chiefs on winning it all. So Trump tweets out, let's see here. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on a great game and a fantastic comeback under immense pressure. You represented the great state of Kansas and, in fact, the entire USA so very well. Our country is proud of you. And as everybody knows, it's in Missouri. So way to go, President. Way to make yourself look like a complete ass. Nice job. Yeah, true. They are for real, unlike Dolphin fans. Right, exactly. Yeah, you're right, of course. Good morning, Big O. Great Super Bowl, says 72 Fins logo. Those are some of the folks that are chiming in. And look, for those of you that are chiming in on Kyle Shanahan deserves what he gets, and that's a ton of criticism. His teams, Atlanta, where he was the O coordinator, and now San Fran, where he's the head coach, have been outscored by 46 points in the fourth quarter of two Super Bowl games. Two Super Bowl games that in those fourth quarters, you have 7 drives, okay? You have 4 punts, 2 turnovers, 1 failed fourth down, and 6 first downs. And yesterday, you chose, during those losses, you have run the ball 6 times and passed it 21 with leads. Your team is a running team, not a passing team. And Kyle Shanahan gets every choker label and criticism that whatever anybody lays on him, he has to sit there and take it like a man, because he's the reason why they lost that game. Now, part of being a champion, part of being clutch, because I don't want this to happen. Well, KC didn't. No, they choked away Atlanta. San Fran gave them the game. No, man. No, Kansas City took the game away. Part of all of this is, in winning a game, you got to make plays, obviously. In winning a game, you've got to call the right plays. You got to have the right pieces in place, and you've got to decipher your opponent in a way that you can put them at a disadvantage. He chose not to. Tyrann Mathieu, after the game, said, man, I am glad they chose to pass the ball. Because even Tyrann Mathieu knows that his team is not that good against the run. They were averaging 6 yards a carry. Hello, Jimmy Johnson and Alonzo Highsmith and Penn State and Fiesta Bowl. Okay? Same thing. Jimmy Johnson was a freaking moron that day. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a great coach. He pissed away a championship. All right? And so if we're going to say Kyle Shanahan pissed away a championship, I'm telling you, Jimmy Johnson pissed away a championship. That I still haven't recovered from that game. That's 1986, and I haven't recovered from that game because it was just common sense. Just hand it off to Alonzo Highsmith and you win the game. Mostert was killing them. He made play after play in that game. You have a 3-headed monster. Use it, bro. And when you have 1:39 left in the half, you're playing against Kansas City, and you choose not to take that timeout right away. You let the clock roll down. Your GM was caught on camera saying timeout because your GM has more balls than you do, Kyle. Brother, your BBs have got to drop one day. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? You gotta, and then they get the big pass play, and then you're out of time already at that point. You ruined it. Plus, you're getting the ball to start the third quarter. That's what you want to do. You want to bury these guys. You're playing against Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid. You're playing against people that know offense, that are explosive on offense. Kyle, my brother, cojones, buddy. Let's strap on a pair. I saw that at half. You know what that told me? I don't have the confidence in my quarterback. I think he'll screw it up in that minute and 39. And then all of a sudden, instead of a tie game, we're down. That's what that told me. So then you got the wrong quarterback then. I mean, that's the only way I can look at. Don't tell me that you have confidence in your guy. A minute and 39? A minute and Dan Marino can score twice in a minute and 39. I saw Marino score once. I crap you not. I was about to say the S word. I think it was like 29 seconds. And he was like on his 15 or 20 or something like that. Drove the length of the field. Boom, 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 touchdown. And you got the wrong guy. So if you're going to coach scared, you can't beat Pat Mahomes. I'm sorry, dude. because they're going to take chances. They're going to throw the ball downfield against a much better defense because San Francisco's a much better defense. So Kyle Shanahan, in all of his criticism, whether it's clock management, mismanagement, whether it's not running the ball, whether it's being scared with 1:39 left in the half, but you are part of 2 choke jobs. Super Bowl 51 and now 54 are under your watch, my man. There's no other way of looking at this thing. And he gets every single bit of criticism you want to lay on that guy. He deserves it all. And there's no other way around it. Okay? You have 2 monster Super Bowl losses within a couple of years because you coached scared. Because you did not actually coach smart. Smart or scared. One of the two. And I don't know if you'll ever get there again, because let me tell you something. You're going to have to pay people too. Because that D-line, that ain't coming cheap. And that's going to take away from other places that you may want to improve down the line. For these teams, the keys will be for them to draft well, so that way they can kind of replace some of those guys with young guys that they lose because they're not going to be able to pay everybody. So that window of opportunity for San Francisco is also one of those that we don't know how long it's going to be open. But they just ruined their first shot at it. Will they get one next year again? We're going to find out. We'll definitely find out. They just signed Mostert to a new contract last year as a top special teamer. Now they may have to restructure that contract because he will probably be their starting running back next year. I know they'll have a stable, but he is their number one guy. That's what it looks like. So you're probably going to have to adjust that contract. So that's more money out the door that you've got to pay. And I don't think they've paid George Kittle yet. I'm not sure. I have to look it up if George Kittle has a new contract. I don't think he does. I mean, and when you got Boza, luckily it's only his first year, so you've got a couple more years to wait for that. But that's going to be a big ass contract too. And I don't know where D Ford is at, but that's another guy that you're going to owe him some money. I mean, that's how this whole thing works.
5 first-round picks on that defensive line.
Yeah.
And the way they play, they are going to want raises.
Yeah, of course. And they deserve the raises.
You know what makes no sense? Like you were saying, right before the half, he shows that he doesn't have trust.
Oh, yeah.
Garoppolo.
Yes.
You get to the end of the game, and now you're going to have trust in the guy.
Yeah.
You know? I don't – that change of plan.
Well, it's just not using intelligence.
No, and what got you there?
Yeah.
Running the ball. Man, you do not, in the championship game, change what got you there, man.
You got to stay with your
what
identity.
Makes you you.
Yeah.
Stay the course.
They have the gunslinger. You don't. Garoppolo can pass, but he's not a gunslinger. Mahomes, that's a whole different ballgame, bro. That's another level player. You know what I mean? That's just a guy that they don't make those kind of guys all the time. You know, Kansas City's lucky they got one of those guys. But Shanahan doesn't understand what he has. And that's why he screwed up.
3 playoff games in a row, 21 unanswered points. Never. He's the first.
Yeah.
And you think about the Tennessee game where they scored 21 points in, 3-something? The last 6 minutes to score 21 points in the Super Bowl. The guy, he is special, man. Bottom line.
No doubt. No doubt. We do want to remind you that the show is proudly brought to you by Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealership in the Southeast United States. Over 400,000 square feet. They're open till midnight every night. They got all kinds of great programs right now, 0% financing for 72 months, and some great pre-owned deals, 2020 models. The Corolla LE right now, listen to this, it lists at $22,000. They're not even selling it at $16,000. 13,775. They got some amazing deals going on out there and a great selection at 1841 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. It is Toyota of Hollywood. All right.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
All right, we are back.
This is the Big O Show.
By the way, Doug and Victoria, okay, just want to tell you, look back here. Thank you so much. I told you that I would include the Rush lunchbox in the studio. There we go. Doug and Victoria bought this for me at VSS West Pines, which will be there later on this month. We'll be out at VSS West Pines. There we go. I like it. Thank you so much. Really, 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 really cool that you guys got that lunchbox for me. That was so nice of you, man.
Rush's new home, hanging out with France.
Yeah, France and Spider-Man.
Left shoulder of Spider-Man.
A little Jose Fernandez. Which, by the way, I can announce, speaking of the late Jose Fernandez, we will be at Marlins Fan Fest, our tent. We will be broadcasting 3 to 7 on Saturday. Saturday, we're going to give you a 4-hour show. Hopefully, we'll have interviews with players, maybe the manager, maybe Jeter. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see what we can get out there at Marlins Fan Fest. So if you are going to be out at Marlins Fan Fest, come on out, man. We would love to see you, meet you, say hi. So we'll have a little fun this Saturday at Marlins Fan Fest. How about that, huh? That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be good. I like it. So check it out. If you happen to be going to Fan Fest, pick your seats, all that good stuff for the upcoming season. You will catch our show there live at Marlins Park, which is a beautiful thing. We're actually going back and forth now with them on setting everything up for Saturday. So it'll be good. Can't wait for that, man. We'll have a little fun with that. What else do we have here on the YouTube chat board? Nico says, enough about the game. Let's talk Shakira and J-Lo. LOL. Great game. Congrats to the Chiefs. We got to get into J-Lo and Shakira. No doubt about that. Ian from Brooklyn says, he does that on the regular. What's up, guys? He does that on the regular. What does that mean? I don't understand. Kyle Shanahan couldn't hide Jimmy G last night. That's what Rick the Bad Boy says. Big O, I'm so disappointed and sad that Zach Thomas didn't get in. Yeah, no, I'm with you there on that. No idea why Shanahan didn't hammer Mostert down the Chiefs' throat. Only 22 total rushes all game. Let's also mention the fact that he didn't take a timeout before the half. Well, I did that. Yeah, definitely. Preserving 40 seconds, dumb. No, I mentioned that. It's stupid. Kyle will never win a championship. He's a bad coach in a close game. That's what Myron says. They have to pay Warner too, I think. They got to pay a bunch of people. That's why it becomes a mission. NorCal says, Big O, do you think Tannehill will play for the Titans this coming season? Oh, yeah. Yes. I think they'll be stupid enough to sign him to a long-term deal, and he'd be stupid to leave a guy that's going to get 200 yards a game. Amen 241 says, a Chiefs dynasty coming, ? But happy for one of the best fan bases in the league. I'm with you, man. They're a likable fan base. And look, how many times have you said it yourself? Okay, this only counts to hardcore football fans. Because if you're not a hardcore football fan, you'll never say this, right? You'll say, I got to go to Lambeau Field one day. You could be any fan in the league of the other 31 teams. Hardcore football fans all want to go to Lambeau Field at least once. Even this idiot here next to me that's a Bears fan. Okay, it'll probably be a Bears-Packers game that he wants to go to, but it's still Lambeau Field. Okay? I did want to go to Soldier Field, but you guys turned it into a spaceship now. Thing looks like a spaceship.
The pillars are still there.
Yeah, that's true. We can still find the pillars, at least. You're right about that.
And I have been outside, and they've got, it's Soldier, like when you're there.
Right. You feel it.
Man.
You feel it.
History.
So one of them is Kansas City. I think all hardcore football fans are like, I got to go to a game in Kansas City. I mean, not only the game, we're all dying to just eat barbecue outside Kansas City. That's all. I mean, not only that, it's just that's one of those things. So, yeah, man, they're likable in every way. Dougie Fresh says, halftime show, yes, hot bods by both ladies, but where was the music? Victoria and I say, thank you, looks great. Well, thank you, my friend. No, thank you. Okay? Looks phenomenal. Looks awesome. It's great stuff. You guys are too much, man. It's awesome. It really is. Let's talk a little bit about that halftime show. Now, look, it's not about music, right? It was the hottest halftime show ever. Not the best. I don't know if you guys saw Mike Wilbon. He tweeted out, this was the greatest halftime show ever, with all due respect with Prince, and I'm a Prince fan. And let me tell you something. Mike Wilbon, you must be drunk, brother. Okay? To compare anything to Prince and his halftime show and that guitar, In the Rain, Purple Rain, all that stuff, get the hell out of here, bro. Please don't compare a real musician, a super talent like Prince, to these ladies. These ladies are super talented in their bodies, their faces. Their music is not. Shakira can sing. I will give her that. J-Lo, whatever. She's got a decent voice. But it's that bubblegum music does nothing for me whatsoever. We've had this conversation before. I'm just not into that kind of music. I'm not impressed. Now, the choreography was awesome. The ladies looked phenomenal. Okay, I will go. This was the hottest halftime show ever because the two women are smoking freaking hot. But let's go back to the Hall of Fame. Remember the discussion we had last week that we have this standard that we want the Hall of Fame to be, but it's never going to be the Hall of Elite. Okay? And as I told you guys, remember this, if we made it the Hall of Elite, Zach Thomas does not get in. Okay? But anyway, we have this thing about the Super Bowl halftime show that we want to make it some of us, about pure musicians. And if it was about that, then yeah, obviously you take these two ladies off the stage and you bring in real people that can sing and play instruments and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. And they're trying to capture the largest audience possible at halftime, which is women. This is why when you have the Olympics on prime time, they're airing a lot of figure skating because there are more women than men in this country and in this world. And if you can put stuff that they're more, attracted to, you're going to get more viewers. And who runs most households? The women. So they're the ones that do a lot of the buying. And they know all about all this. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the most entertaining halftime show. Not necessarily the most gifted artists to go. Because if I wanted to do that, then I'd put Adele on stage. But Adele's not going to dance. She's not. Yeah, although Adele, she did lose a lot of weight, and she looks good. Congratulations to her. But she's still not going to be J-Lo or Shakira. You get it? Now, J-Lo and Shakira combined will never be Adele. You know what I'm saying? So we can go in that direction, and we can put, like the year they put Bruno Mars, that's pretty cool. Because at least, if you're a rocker, you don't care about Bruno Mars. But if you at least understand music and talent and musicians, Bruno Mars plays a bunch of instruments. He dances, he sings. I mean, he is just exceptionally talented. You know what I'm saying? So if we're going to do that, then we put these kind of people on stage. We put Adele, we put Bruno Mars, and then we've got talent. You know what I'm saying? When Whitney Houston's singing the national anthem, that's talent. That's just nasty Hall of Fame talent. These two ladies are not Hall of Famers. But in the entertainment side of it, you had to love it, man. It was a great halftime show. It was sexy. It was Miami. It was Latin. It was hot. It was all Miami. I mean, it was great. I mean, you're getting J-Lo on a stripper pole. Are you kidding me, bro? You got to be happy with that. And Shakira looked stunning. One of the things I like about Shakira, I was having this conversation with my wife. J-Lo is drop dead gorgeous. There's no doubt about that, right? But the other day when they're doing their little press thing and promoting the halftime show and they're both sitting there, J-Lo's gorgeous, but she is dressed to the nines. I mean, she is sharp, made up, hair's impeccable, all of that. Shakira comes in a T-shirt, jeans, and she's just got her hair down, and she doesn't have a ton of makeup on or nothing. She got very little makeup on. She has that natural beauty that I really like. Because the less makeup you have on and the more natural you look, the more I find you attractive. That's kind of who I am. I'll give you an idea. Everybody knows, or some of you know who Susanna Hoffs is, right? The lead singer from the Bangles. Go follow Susanna Hoffs on Instagram, okay? And for me, I find her gorgeous. And she has these pictures that she just puts up, and it's just her face. No makeup, dude. Nothing. But she's got that natural beauty. You know what I mean? That, if she made herself up, she'll look like a gorgeous woman, because she is. But without the makeup, she still looks beautiful, but it's a different kind of, it's a natural beauty. You know what I'm saying? And I dig that. And so Shakira has a lot of that natural beauty. And look, that was one of those shows where everybody had to love it. It was entertaining. But if you were looking for music, That's not the place. Halftime for the Super Bowl is more about where are we going to get the most punch? Where are we going to get the most pub? With who? And obviously Shakira and J-Lo doing it, that's going to bring so much attention. People would watch Adele, but what you did at the halftime this year was the guys that would, break away, go have a beer, go talk outside in the patio, go smoke a cigarette or a cigar. Hell, you could smoke a cigar as long as that halftime was. If you would have brought out a different kind of act, a lot of people would have checked out. But when you brought J-Lo and Shakira in, you kept a lot of men sitting in front of that couch, not just the women. The women are going to watch. You guaranteed you had all the women watching because they want to look. They want to see what Shakira and J-Lo look like. I mean, one's 43, the other one's 50, and they look stunning. And women admire stuff like that, or some of them may want to try to find a fault in one of them or the other. That kind of stuff that women do. The guys, come on, every guy in the world was drooling watching those two women. Smoking hot. What's the other thing I thought of that I think nobody thinks of? Something silly. This was a moment of publicity, a good moment, and, a check on their resume for J-Lo and for Shakira, right? And I don't even know who the hell those rappers were. There were probably some Latin rappers in Central and South America. They're probably enormous over there. Or maybe they're enormous here. I just don't know who the hell they were. But the part that I thought was pretty cool, think about this. All the dancers that were there. What a great moment for those folks. Like for J-Lo, she's going to go, oh, yeah, once I did the Super Bowl halftime show, whatever. And it'll be a thrill for her, but not that much. It's all right. Yeah, whatever. It's cool. But for all those dancers, that might have been their pinnacle of their dancing careers. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that I think most everybody overlooks. But all of the other people that were around J-Lo and Shakira, those folks, man, that was a big moment for those people right there. Their loved ones, their family members are trying to find them on the floor, dancing with Shakira or J-Lo, all that stuff. I just wanted to be in the crowd when Shakira went body surfing. That's all. I wanted to hold her up in a specific spot. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. I wonder if they were like, when they were passing her around in the crowd, I wonder if they were all like told, hold her by her legs and back. Do not hold her ass up. I'm just wondering. Nobody touched Shakira's ass.
Did you notice that it was kind of like a group of guys, and they got her and they kind of
guided her?
Yeah,
through the sea.
It
wasn't an exchange.
She was laid to these guys.
She was laid? She was laid?
Laid to those guys.
All right. She was laid.
We saw
Shakira was laid. Nothing wrong with that, right? It's always good to get laid. I was just, hey, man, just something told me there was a memo passed. And she's like, all right, guys, carry me, take me to the next part, but don't hold my ass. Guys are like, I can't help myself. It's like, Sherman, you got to squeeze it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Wilbon was high and drunk if he said that. Oh, yeah, no, he said it. He said it. Go look at his tweet. He got killed for it. I mean, they roasted his ass on social media. He tweeted out, oh, this is the greatest halftime show ever. With all due respect to Prince, I'm a Prince fan, but this is better. And I'm like, get the hell out of here, dude. That's Prince right now is up in heaven, like doing some voodoo on your ass now from here on out. Nico goes, how can anyone compare lip syncing to Prince? Prince's halftime show is the best. I still watch it every now and then because it's that good. Everybody can watch that one. That one is so good, dude. How come JT wasn't named in the all-time greats? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Nice. You like my Spicoli shirt? My shirt today is it's a Spicoli shirt, and then it has the words under. It says, "What would Spicoli do?" So it's WW, SD. So there you go. So yes, figured we'll have a little fun today. You like my Spicoli shirt?
But of course,
I had to get a Spicoli shirt. I got this one, and I got also it's Mike Damone's ticket office or something, whatever, like Damone always sold tickets in the movie. So I have one of those where it has Damone's picture and concert
cheap
tickets.
trick. That's kid stuff.
Yeah. Come on, the music.
Of Robin Van Zant, the Dream Police. Your mama's all right.
Yeah, exactly, man. Come on. Yeah. They have a place that has, what is it, Frog shirts or Frog T-shirts or whatever that company is, and they've got all these funky type shirts. So I bought a couple of those, and this was one that I had to have. The Spicoli one was just so freaking classic.
Where'd you get that jacket?
Yeah, it's such a nice jacket. It was Bad Bunny in from Puerto Rico and Balvin Colombian, LMAO. Okay, so that's Bad Bunny. I've heard of Bad Bunny a lot. I don't know anything about Bad Bunny. He's like a reggaeton rapper or some crap like that, right? I'm not into reggaeton, bro. Sorry. No, I can't. Those guys were part of the act. The crowd was paid extras, too. No, I don't care about the crowd, but the dancers with them, those people, man, that's a big moment for those dancers. Oh, Neil Peart designed the 2112 album art. It speaks to you. The star represents group mentality, and the hero has to face them and guide them. Sound familiar? Okay. All right. Nice job by you. Alex Rodriguez chiming in. What up, Big O? A-Rod is watching? A-Rod, dude, what are you doing right now? You should be banging J-Lo. The hell, man? I mean, if I'm J-Lo, if I'm A-Rod, I wouldn't leave the bedroom. I swear I'd be Ethiopian looking at this point. I'd look like I hadn't eaten like in 800 years. Those poor kids, I'd look like that. I'd look like I was starving forever. That woman would suck everything out of me. I wouldn't want to leave the bedroom if I had J-Lo at home. She couldn't leave the bedroom if I had J-Lo at home. Big O, how can I purchase a Big O Show t-shirt if you have any? We will have them very soon up on the website. We are finishing that up. I am sorry. We've had a little, couple delays here on all of that, but we are finalizing all of that this week, actually, now that you mentioned that. So we will have Big O, couple different styles of Big O t-shirts, actually. So you will be able to purchase them. We're working on a lot of things, man. A lot of things that we're trying to hammer through, as they say. So Chiefs defeat the Niners 31-20. If you want to get in, by the way, on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Watching the game yesterday, we were all entertained, right? We were watching a pretty good football game. We watched a great comeback. We watched a great coach finally get over the hump. We watched a great young quarterback get over the hump. And maybe start off, what he has already started a great career, but now, obviously, he has taken it to another stratosphere to add a championship to it. We saw a great halftime show. We were all entertained, right? I got to ask you something. What was Kareem Hunt thinking watching that Super Bowl? Because Damian Williams, who could be the MVP, we could all argue Damian Williams deserves to be the MVP, right? And I understand the quarterback's always going to be the quarterback, and they're always going to give him the upper hand. But Kareem Hunt could have been doing everything that Damian Williams is doing, and even at a higher level. And it should be a lesson to look at Antonio Brown. More apologies over the weekend and more stupidity, and he's going to fight what's the name of that guy? Logan Paul is challenging him to a fight. And he's like tweeting out over the weekend, hey, should I fight Logan Paul for $4.3 million? I mean, you should, because you're not making money doing anything else. So do that and get your ass kicked. But my point is that we're talking about a guy that pissed away his career so far, because now he's going to be a free agent. Now he's going to go to a third team now, because Cleveland's, they got Chubb. They don't really need to sign him, right? And he's got problems as it is, because he just got pulled over and had an open bottle. And the cop gave him a break. The video was released. And he was like, man, if you arrest me, I'm going to be drug tested and all this other stuff. So NFL teams are going to see this guy doesn't get it. He's high and drunk, and the cops pulled him over. So even if you didn't get the ticket, Kareem, you still got the publicity of what you were high and drunk, and you're also stupid. Obviously, you're really a stupid human being. This is why you do these kind of things. And you got to be sitting there, Kareem, watching this. And I would imagine that you had chips and salsa. Maybe you had some ribs. Maybe you had some chicken wings. Maybe you had pizza while you were watching the Super Bowl. Do you know what Kareem Hunt was doing? He cut out his liver and was eating it. Basically. That was his life yesterday. Because if there's somebody that's got to be hating life right now, it's Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt has to be the one guy that says, like, what have I done with my life? I was one of the best running backs in the NFL. I had one of the best coaches in the NFL, now a Super Bowl champion. He put me in a position to be really successful, and I pissed it away doing everything. And let me tell you something. On the flip side, how good does Kansas City feel that they let go of the lowlife and they still won the championship? Because remember, you have this attitude like, well, you're going to let this guy go? How do you recover? Well, they recovered. And I don't know if this will be a lesson for guys like Kareem or others out there, that none of this is guaranteed. And you should never look at this like you're entitled to have it. You should always look at it like, I'm blessed. I'm lucky to have this opportunity. Let me take advantage. That's what you should be doing. And he failed to do that. And look at the position that he's put himself in. That's the sad part.
Do you really think with the stupid things he's done that he has the wherewithal to have that feeling?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why that drinking and that smoking you saw in that car and the depressive state that he kind of was in when the cop pulled him over.
He kind of went to that because of having solace.
I think he's been there now for a while since what happened to him in Kansas City. And then he had the year of Cleveland, and he's like, oh, my God. Now I know what it's like to be part of a great organization with a great coach, with great ownership. Cleveland doesn't have great ownership. It doesn't have great coaching. It doesn't have a great front office. There's nothing about Cleveland that's great. And again, I'm not picking on the fans. I'm not picking on the city. It has nothing to do with it. I'm just talking about the stupid organization. And so now Kareem is like, man, I put myself in this position and I'm such an idiot. So do I think he's smart enough to stay on the right track? No, Bill. But I think that he's got to be smart enough to have regrets. Because I think we all are, Even the biggest of criminals are sitting in jail with regrets. They may not even admit it to you. They may want to act tough and say, oh, I did what I had to do, and this is who I am. But then when they go back into that cell and they sit there in the middle of the night, they're regretting it. And right now, Kareem Hunt is in jail right now, but it's a personal jail that he created himself. He put himself in that box. That's what he did. That guy has to be the only guy in the country yesterday that was hating that game. I mean, absolutely couldn't. He probably didn't even watch it to a certain extent. Or when Damian Williams scores, he probably turned off the TV. Okay? Maybe he turned off the TV the way the lady that had to turn down the fire a couple degrees, she grabbed a log and threw it out the window. That's probably what he did. He grabbed a log and threw it at the TV. Maybe he has that new TV.
Lexus, make it 3 degrees.
Yeah.
Colder. Yeah. You hear the guy on the sidewalk.
That was actually a decent commercial. That most of the commercials sucked, but that one was actually decent. So he and Kareem has got to have felt so bad yesterday. Either that or he's watching the game and there's a gallon jug of Maalox right next to him. And that's all. He's just chugging away watching it. And I can't imagine that guy was feeling good about anything yesterday. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Let me tell you about Caneswear because we love talking about Brett and all the great people at Caneswear. We've been telling you about Caneswear, oh man, I want to say like 7, 8, 9 years or something. I don't know. It's been a long time that they've been it's like 9 years. They've been a sponsor of ours, and they're at 2511 South University Drive in Davie. The store is bigger and more beautiful than ever. All kinds of great Caneswear stuff. So get on down there and check it out for yourself. Hey, Jimmy Murphy is going to be out at Caneswear. How about that? He'll be signing autographs for you guys, taking pictures, and that happens February 8th. So come on out to Caneswear and take advantage. They've also got the new baseball caps. They are absolutely sweet. You're going to love those at Caneswear. So get on down to 2511 South University Drive in Davie, baby. Tell Brett and all the great people out there, Jeff, all these guys, they will take care of you. Tell them that Big O sent you, and trust me, they'll take care of you. Now, you want to meet Jimmy Murphy, you got to go February 8th, 4 to 6 p.m. So that's this Saturday, right? February 8th should be this Saturday, correct? Today's the 3rd.
We'll be hanging out at Marlins Stadium that day.
Yes, we will be at Marlins Park, but you can be at Caneswear meeting Jimmy Murphy from the Hurricanes, 4 to 6 p.m. this Saturday at Caneswear at Miami Fanwear. That's the spot where fans like us shop.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are back.
This is the Big O Show.
Welcome back. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's really simple, 786-322-1105. You see it right under there, 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. We thank Bobby Nunez and all the great people at Nunez Law, proud sponsors of our program. Let's see what else. One guy says Hunt should go to the CFL. I think he's done with the NFL. What a waste of talent. Yeah. What are you going to do? Flip side fishing. Morning, Big O. Almost won a fishing contest this weekend. All right. Almost, huh? Not bad. I want Mahomes in Miami. Yeah, well, everybody wants a Mahomes in Miami. Well, he was in Miami. It was just not for your team last night. Wanted to see Reid carried off. Madden was. Yeah, that would have taken a couple of strong men to do that, to carry Mr. Reid off the field. But, hey, stranger things have happened, right? I get it. Yeah, that would have been fun if they would have carried Andy off. Now, after 4 quarters of football, I don't know if they had the energy to do that. That's the thing. That's where it gets. That's where it gets a little tricky. You know what I'm saying? 4 quarters of football, you might be a little tired. That kind of stuff. The penalties. Let's not get into any of these silly controversies. All right? San Fran lost fair and square. George Kittle, he clearly pushed off and got the separation with that arm. So if anybody wants to bring this up and say that, that they got away with a penalty, they did not. Okay? George Kittle, that was a penalty.
As a receiver, when you fully extend your arm, it is so obvious.
No, but that's how he got the separation.
Yeah. And it was so here, Kyle Rudolph should have got penalized in that New Orleans.
Yes.
Because it's a full
yes.
When your arm goes fully extended,
yes.
It's so clear.
Yes, no doubt about it. And look, it's the only way he gets that separation is with that arm. Now, what I was thinking about Kittle is what he has to do in that position is use your body as the shield. So when the ball is coming, you have to have your back behind and try to square up your back to the defender, so he has to go over you in order to get the ball. And what you do is
almost positioning for a rebound.
Right.
Boxing the guy out.
And if you want, you can actually slow down a little bit so he backs into you, and then that you leave the ball over the top, and then you can catch it. That's part of body positioning and things like that. And that's what he should have focused on, because he's a big enough body. He's long enough that he could have done that and separate himself. But because you use the arm to then get that separation, it was an easy call. The first one, he would have gotten away with it because he didn't kind of extend his arm. He kind of was like, they were kind of both hand fighting there at that moment. But then when he used that second time the arm, that forearm locked in, that elbow locked in, and then it gave him the space he needed to make an easy catch. He should have used his body. And Shanahan, he can complain all he wants and bitch and all that. That was a great call. That was the right call at that moment. The Damian Williams one, that's one that we could actually have a discussion about, right? But the problem was it was so close that you couldn't overturn it one way or the other. You really couldn't tell because it kind of looked like the ball had crossed the plane of the goal just as he was stepping out of bounds. So it looked like a legitimate touchdown by those standards that they have in the NFL. And if there's any San Francisco fans that are pointing fingers at that stuff and actually using that as an excuse, that's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's sore loser talk is what it is. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. But the penalties had nothing to do with why you lost. San Francisco lost because their coach mismanaged that game and did not run the ball when he was supposed to. They lost because Jimmy Garoppolo didn't make certain throws when he needed to make them. And that deep ball to Emmanuel Sanders, you got to hit that one, dude.
That's the game. That's the game.
The guy was open. You cannot miss that shot. There are certain windows of opportunity in a game. And I know it's a cliche that coaches have said over the years, but damn, it's so right. The game always comes down to a couple plays. And you could go back and look at them and say, okay, if we made these plays, we would have won this game. And Jimmy Garoppolo can lay there at night and bang as many porn stars as he wants, but he's going to regret that he missed that shot to Emmanuel Sanders. He's going to hate that he threw the interception when he should have taken that sack or thrown it away. And he knew right away that he shouldn't have made that throw as he was getting hit. But those are mistakes that you make in this game. And whether it's Shanahan, whether it's Garoppolo, there's plenty to blame on the San Francisco side. Don't blame the penalties. The penalties have nothing to do with any of this. All right? Let me tell you about Moody's Dental. I'm wearing my Invisaligns right now, baby. Love my Invisaligns. And let me tell you, they are a proud sponsor of our program. If you're looking for a great dentist, you're looking to clean your teeth, root canal, cavities, Invisalign implants. I wanted to straighten out my teeth. You can do it too. Come on, let's get a better smile for 2020, a healthier life with a better smile. 305-821-0231. State-of-the-art equipment. Like I've told you, if you're going to get an implant there, if you're going to get a crown, they make it right there on the spot. You don't leave with temporaries or anything, come back a couple of weeks later and you got to hang around with a temporary. That doesn't happen at Moody's Dental. They have a machine there that makes the implant right there and then, the crown right there and then. It's really amazing. In minutes, and you're out the door. You don't have to take another day off from work to go to the dentist. How beautiful is that? Moody's Dental, they look out for you. 305-821-0231 or go online to moody'sdental.com. All right, let me tell you. The other thing that I want to get into a little bit, did you see the Super Bowl commercials? Now, the Super Bowl commercials overall sucked, right? Let's be honest. They were full of stars. Are you that gullible of a consumer that just because this star, that star is in it, they had 4,000 stars in so many of these commercials, and they were terrible. I loved the Lil Nas X and Sam Elliott commercial, the Groundhog Day commercial. I think there might have been another one. Let me see. I might have written it down.
The one of Lexus. You know, when the chick throws the brick out the window.
Oh, yes. Oh, Alexa.
Alexa. And
Alexa,
then
yes.
They're,
Yes,
they're
that
out
one was
the
pretty
west.
good.
And
Yes.
play me a song.
Yeah.
Play me another song.
Yeah. What did people do before Alexa? It was Ellen and her wife talk, or girlfriend. I don't know if it's didn't she get a divorce and now she's with another? I don't know. Whatever it is. So yes, that one actually was pretty good, and I did love the NFL 100 promo to start the Super Bowl with the kids and the football. That was freaking awesome. That was free. But in general, most of the commercials were absolutely horrible. It was the worst year of commercials. And it's gotten to a point that, I mean, look, there's no creativity in Hollywood as it is. Right? They've got to remake Charmed, and they've got to remake MacGyver, and they've got to remake everything because we have no creativity, so let's bring back Hawaii Five-0. You know what I mean? And that's everything about Hollywood. The music industry, they're all stealing hooks and music from the past because they're not very talented in making their own music nowadays and their own marks because they can't make hooks that are going to be stolen from them 20, 30 years from now. So let's keep stealing the stuff from the past. There is so little creativity in today's world. And then again, maybe everything's done. I don't know. It's that much harder. But this was the worst set of commercials overall. Those years back, a while back, where you were constantly laughing at the different commercials, there was a time where it was one of those things that you even look forward to it. You can't say that the last couple of years that you look forward to the commercials because there's way too many misses. I mean, way too many misses. A lot of horrible commercials last night. Really, really bad. Let's see what we got here. The Madden curse was broken. Big O, remember the epic Terry Tate, the officer linebacker commercial? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Sup, everyone. Fin fan for life, and I'll trade all 14 picks for Mahomes. Mahomes is in a good situation. Great quarterbacks perform in great situations. We only have 2 good players on offense besides Fitzpatrick. Our offense isn't built enough for a quarterback to perform elite. Yes, I would agree with that at the moment. Let's see. What else do we have? Mahomes can make any team be Super Bowl contender. Any team. No, I don't believe that. No. If he doesn't have the right people around him, he's not going to be able to do that. You don't have the line. A Tyreek Hill helps a lot. Andy Reid helps a ton. Should have what's up dudes every Super Bowl. Those commercials put me to sleep. They were meh. Keep commercial was funny. Keep commercial. What's the Keep commercial? Or is that Jeep? Was it a Jeep? What Jeep commercial was it?
Well, Groundhog Day was the Jeep commercial.
Oh, that's the Jeep commercial. Groundhog. Okay, yes. See, that's the problem. Some of these commercials, I don't even remember what the product is. It's like a funny commercial, and then
that's Bill Murray and the Groundhog.
Sometimes the commercial would end. My wife would look at me and go, "Hey, what was that commercial about?" And then I'd like rewind and go, "Okay, there it is."
Bill Murray snatching the groundhog from Brian Doyle Murray and jumping in and oh, it's a Jeep.
Yes,
not the.
Yes.
What was it? A Chevy truck, I guess.
Yes,
the original.
I guess.
I think it was a Chevy truck, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
That's that one was good. The groundhog.
All excited because you got a Jeep to drive.
The groundhog one was good. I didn't understand the baby peanut one. Does that mean they're selling baby peanuts? Is there such thing as a baby peanut? What the hell was that baby peanut commercial? It was a terrible commercial. Really bad commercial. And then the avocado one. Man, that was a terrible commercial. There were a lot of bad commercials yesterday. It's one of those moments that you kind of almost wish that you were watching the Super Bowl in delay so you can speed through those commercials, because most of them were torturous. And here's the other thing. I'd love to be a fly on the room to hear the marketing meeting, and then they all say, "Oh, yeah, that commercial's great." Like, what the hell are you watching? And these CEOs in these companies, they cannot be happy with these commercials. There's no way. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, that they would be happy with the commercials. Right? As bad as they were, oh, God. I'm trying to remember some of the other bad ones that I saw yesterday. I mean, there were some really, really, really bad ones. And what was the one with Missy Elliott? That was a terrible one, too. Was that the Pepsi one? That it's like Pepsi whatever, and then the other, not that it was a bad commercial, but the Coke Energy one, with Jonah Hill. Although I will say this.
It had Martin in it.
I kind of want to try now Coke Energy drink.
I was all over that. I'm like I got to get that.
I got to try it because I want to try the Coke Energy thing. I got to try it.
Now, my question is.
That I will try.
In the old days, Jolt Cola.
Yes,
Do you remember?
Sir. Of course.
Twice or 3 times the sugar, 3 times the caffeine.
And all that, yes. It's still around, I think, right?
There are a few places, mom and pop type joints, that, yes, you will find Jolt Cola.
Yeah, I think it's still there. But I gotta try that Coke one. But it was, again, nothing. It did nothing for me. There was so many bad commercials. And it looked like, okay, if we just put a bunch of stars, you'll buy it. And that's it. Meanwhile, here I am. I'm going to get the Coke Energy drink. Although there weren't a bunch of stars in that one. It was just like 2 stars, right? It was Jonah and what party was he going to?
Martin. It was Martin Scorsese.
It was Martin Scorsese. Exactly. That's right. Right. Dougie Fresh says, they should let Flores do Super Bowl commercials. He would get no-name actors and bring the house down. I like it. The Progressive commercial was better. Which was the Progressive commercial? I don't remember a good Progressive commercial.
I got to say, I'm over here cutting up the halftime.
Oh, so the baby peanut is a playoff baby Yoda. Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Whatever. It was bad. It was terrible. I couldn't go with that.
I'm over here cutting up the halftime thing, okay, to put up on the pod. You know what's a halftime show that everybody forgets, and it is the best? Sorry, 2001 U2.
Yeah, it's great.
It is probably the best.
Kiss.
Sorry.
Kiss was fantastic. I saw Kiss live. It's great. There's a lot of them that were really good. But that's when they actually bring like, legendary acts. It would help. Hey, let's bring a band that sold 100 million albums. Why not? That kind of stuff. So, yeah. But Super Bowl commercials, overall, they were absolutely terrible. They were unwatchable at times. That I have to say. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. I did go see some music on Saturday. I went to go see the Zac Brown cover band. Now, that's how I'm going to call them from now on, the Zac Brown cover band. They're a good band. They sound really, really good. But I got to tell you something. Their covers are better than their original music. Sorry. I saw Zac Brown at the BB&T Center. Good show. But I have to say, I was way more impressed with their covers than I was with their own music. And maybe that's why they do a lot of covers, because they do a lot of covers. I mean, the Bohemian Rhapsody one was actually pretty good. That one was kind of trippy. They threw me off when they did Bohemian Rhapsody. Kashmir and some of the other ones. All right, I know about those. It threw me off on Bohemian Rhapsody, and Zach did a really good job with it. Nobody's going to sing at the pitch of, obviously, Freddie Mercury. But still, it was good, man. It was good. I'll give it to him. I don't know who was there. Any of you that were there on Saturday night. They sounded good, don't get me wrong. Their music sounds good. But I wasn't that impressed with their own music. It really didn't do much for me. I got to tell you. Their covers, that I really, really enjoyed. I wonder if anybody out there who is, let's say, not a Zac Brown fanatic, because I would imagine that if you're a Zac Brown fanatic, you probably love his personal music. But if you had never seen Zac Brown and you went to that concert on Saturday, how did you react to it? On Zac Brown? I'll tell you this. I'd rather go to Zac Brown than Guns N' Roses. Did you see that? Guns N' Roses? You're Guns N' Roses. Did you see it?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear anything about it.
Of course not, because you're the worst person ever when it comes to communications and social media. I sent you the damn video. Anyway, give me some juice here. Here is Axl Rose at the AAA on Friday night. Okay? I don't know how many of you went to Guns N' Roses on Friday night, but you got ripped off.
That was really bad. That was really, really bad.
People paid $300, $400, $500 for this. Did he lose his voice? I saw him twice as Guns N' Roses. I saw him do AC/DC. He sounded phenomenal. Awesome. Every one of you that went to the AAA on Friday night, you got ripped off. There's no meanness.
He's not even trying.
Yeah.
He's not even trying.
Yeah. I saw that on Instagram. New York City Dave, who follows me on Instagram, good dude overall, by the way. I've met him a couple times. And he posted that video, and he was like, what the? And I saw that, and I was like, oh, my God. People paid a lot of money. I was going to go to that concert.
It was $250 for nosebleeds.
Yeah, we wanted to go to that concert. Me, Bill, and Greep wanted to go to that concert badly. But when we saw the prices, we're like, forget it, dude. This is Super Bowl ridiculous prices. So they're getting the people that are coming into town, and they're willing to spend a whole bunch because they're on vacation or whatever. I was like, man, thank the Lord I saw them twice in the last year and a half. And I saw Axl 3 times because I saw him with AC/DC. All 3 were exceptional. I mean, he sounded like he sounded in the 80s and 90s. His voice was impeccable. Yeah, that night on Friday, I want to hear from you folks. Any of you out there that went to that concert? Are you kidding me? Wow.
The people that you find.
There's like
no
not edge.
Even trying to keep the
there's no
tempo
Axl, right?
of the song.
And there's no Axl edge to the voice. He's just kind of like he's David Lee Rothing it.
Yes. Talking it.
Yeah.
He is talking it.
He is Vince Nealing it. Because now when you go see Vince Neil and David Lee Roth, that's how they sing their songs. Because they can't sing. So they have to do it that way. Now this was their first show in months. I don't know if his voice wasn't in a groove or something. I have no idea. All I do know is if you went to Guns N' Roses, you have to still be pissed right now. You have to be furious. You know what you feel like? You're going to laugh at this. You're going to feel like I feel when I saw New Order at the James L. Knight Center back in 1988. That's how bad it is that I still remember the year, the venue, and the fact the bastards did 50 minutes and walked off stage. Pissed me off. And we paid a good amount of money for those tickets in those days. I want to say it was like $50, $70 ticket or something in those days. I think it was like 55 or 60 actually, now that I remember each ticket. And in 1988, that's a hell of a ticket, bro. That's a lot of money in those days.
Yeah, because we were probably going and seeing like
$15, $20.
We were seeing like Quiet Riot open up for Iron Maiden for $25.
But remember, think about it. New Order, James L. Knight, in 1988. They are a monster band at that time that could play arenas, and they went to the James L. Knight Center, so they charged more. And that's why. And dude, I was so furious.
50 minutes?
50 minutes, dude. To this day, I'm still pissed about that concert. Kind of like, the Canes in 86 Fiesta Bowl that I have not recovered. Same thing. I would be that person for Friday night if that's the Axl I saw. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Michael says, glad I didn't go. That's Guns N' Roses? Are we sure that's someone during karaoke? It's the video's there. I mean, it's the video. I got that audio off the video watching Guns N' Roses. Oh, man. The Tide laundry detergent was dumb, too. Yes, that was bad. That was bad. There was most of the commercials were terrible. Really. There were only a couple, maybe 3 or 4, no more than that in the entire show that were actually good. Outside of that, they were bad. But, yeah, that Guns N' Roses. Oh, and by the way, Guns N' Roses has announced a summer tour, a 19-date tour. And no, they're not coming here. But that's because they just did their bad performance here. So we will now get to see them perform in other places and see if his voice is back on track. So then we can go up August 15th to Tampa and see them. If he's sounding good.
Because they're not coming here, obviously.
No. Yeah, but they did yesterday. On Friday. So that's probably why they're not coming.
They would have
here.
probably been better off the way that sounded. Not.
Oh no, God! If that's the case, wow. That is crazy. Eric Echevarria saying the Big O Show. Yes, thank you, sir. Appreciate all of you tuning in. We love you for it. And supporting us and chiming in on the chat board. So, yeah, Zach Brown cover band and Guns N' Roses this weekend. That was part of the deal. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Give me 2 minutes to rest the vocals. We did a nice half hour here. We'll give you another half hour coming up of sports talk. I got a bunch of things I want to talk about Super Bowl-wise. I want to get into a little Andy Reid. I want to get into also a little Pat Mahomes talk. I got some NFL news that I want to get to that I think is kind of ridiculous also on the program. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I have a sex story that is really, really juicy. I got some more music news, too, that I want to talk about. So we got a bunch of things here on the program. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. You can reach out to us anytime you're listening to the show, podcast, anytime, 786-322-1105. We'll take a break. Back with more right here on The Big O Show.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty. We are back. You know, we got an interesting story developing in the NFL. Well, I already went through this crap, right? We already ripped Pro Football Talk and any other idiot that thought Tom Brady would come to Miami, right? We already did that ass, right? I mean, that's just one of the dumbest stories out there, all right? And I told you on Friday it was a stupid-ass story. And then by Saturday, it was already squashed by the owner, Stephen Ross. Nice job by you, Stephen, right? That was the other. It was like, why would he come here? We're rebuilding. Why would you write that story? Oh, because you want to just write a whole bunch of crap and then some of it will stick. It's kind of what they do on that website a lot. So, I mean, it's so obvious. And now the news story is that the Raiders and the Chargers may go after Tom Brady. Think about how ridiculous of a story that is, okay? So you have worked for Bob Kraft your entire life. Now you're going to work for Mark Bowl-Cut Davis or Dean Cheap-Ass Ridiculous Spanos? Come on, man. You're going to work for an organization in the Chargers that is run by an absolute clown that is hated? You're going to work for Al Davis and John Gruden? Come on, man. Can we get more ridiculous? I think Tom Brady would end up retiring than playing for those clowns. Look, I've told you this, and I've said it from the get-go. This is a power play from Tom Brady against Belichick, trying to make sure he gets what he wants in order to come back to the Patriots. And you saw the story already came out. I think it was Tom Curran over in Boston that he reported that they're at least willing, that the Patriots are willing to pay him $30+ million a year. So that's the owner. And the owner's the one that's going to, the owner loves Tom Brady. The owner's the one that told Belichick, go trade Garoppolo. And they got rid of Garoppolo. And that was a power move by Brady. And they're going to deal with the power move now because this is the all-time great quarterback. He brought you 6 titles. Kraft is not going to crap on him. He can't allow Belichick to do what he's done to everybody else, that when he's ready to get off the gravy train, he does it. And maybe Belichick is ready to get off of it because he wants to start a new gravy train, if he finds it. But the idea that Tom Brady would leave the Patriots to go to the Raiders, wow, is that a joke? Why would he want to play for those clowns? They're not a good franchise. They're not on the brink of a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. Come on, man. And the Chargers have a nice team, but give me a break. It's a terrible franchise. They have no attendance. I get it. You signed Tom Brady. That should change. It'll pack the stadium and all that other stuff, and who knows? It just makes no sense whatsoever. After you've been associated with that franchise this long, and that they do things the right way, you're going to go to two franchises that are constant screw-ups. These are things to me that they get reported, and I don't understand where the hell it's coming from. Is it just somebody that pulls crap out of their ass? Hey, you know what? Tom Brady to Miami makes a lot of sense. It's in the division, and they have Brian Flores. That was their reasoning. It's in the division, and they have Brian Flores. Forget the fact that they don't have a football team. But no, it's in the division, and they have Brian Flores. So Tom Brady's going to go to a team that has no talent. And in one off season, they'll fix the line, the defense, the running game, everything. Hilarious. Hilarious. And he's going to play for the Raiders. Come on, man. Now, it does make sense on the Raiders side. That's where the story's very believable that the Raiders would go after him because John Gruden loves old players. He loves making his team old. So that I can see him going after a 42-year-old quarterback. But will the 42-year-old going to be 43 when next season starts? Will the 43-year-old quarterback want to play for this guy and that owner? No. I just don't see that. So Giselle and the kids are supposed to pack up and move to Las Vegas. No, man. I just don't see that. To me, again, that's another story. The Dolphin story, made no sense whatsoever. And thank you, Stephen Ross. But this one, come on. He'll go back to the Patriots. I'm telling you, if the Colts, to a lesser extent, but really the Bears and the Titans, if they want to be Super Bowl contenders, those are the two teams that should be going after Brady. Okay? That's what should be happening. That would make all the sense in the world. Get Brady, and the Titans are a Super Bowl contender. Get Brady, Bears, get Brady and a couple of offensive linemen. Draft one, sign another, and then I think you're ready to go. But you'll have to invest some money on that line. That's the only thing the Bears actually need. That's it. I love when they come up with these funky stories, man. NFL DFS Playback TV says Colts should call Brady. Yeah. They need a little more, but that would definitely be one. That would be the third place team out of those three. I think the Bears and the Titans are closer than the Colts, but there's no doubt that the Colts are a pretty good one too. Well, no, but you put Saints too. Now, the Saints have Breeze. They're going to bring Breeze back, and they've got the plan with Taysom Hill. So they have their guy for now, and they view Taysom Hill as the future, actually. So that I don't think is a logical one for Tom Brady. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. As I get a text from a friend of mine that says Susanna Hoffs, and then has pictures with bulging eyes coming out. She's a great follow on Instagram. Her natural beauty is just one of those things that I find like incredibly attractive. Not somewhat attractive, incredibly attractive. Okay? Super, super smoking hot. That's the only way I can describe Susanna Hoffs. Just smoking hot. One of the things that I wanted to talk about a little, throw in a little bit more music talk here to all of this. Now, you saw the story of Metallica. They are performing at Rockville, and as you know, Bill plays the Rockville commercials in every break pretty much. And we're going to Rockville. We're going to be out there having some fun. We'll be covering it for 3 days.
You got to appease the masses, man.
Yeah, we're going to be giving away tickets and all of that. We're going to be giving away passes, on that. Now, do you know what Metallica is doing besides Rockville? Because this is interesting, okay? So Metallica will headline 5 major American festivals this year, all of which are produced by Danny Wimmer Presents. I got to try to get Danny back on again. Danny and I, we struck up a really good relationship. He's a really cool dude. The events, by the way, listen to this, are the epicenter. Welcome to Rockville, Sonic Temple Music plus Arts, Louder Than Life, and Aftershock. Those are the 5 festivals that they're going to be performing in. The band will play 2 separate headlining sets at each stop with a unique set list for each performance, resulting in 10 different shows. If you're a Metallica freak.
So where are all these festivals and when are we going?
Yeah, right. Epicenter, Welcome to Rockville, Sonic Temple Music and Arts, Louder Than Life, and Aftershock. You'll have to look them up. Okay? I think Louder Than Life is the one in Oklahoma, I want to say. Not sure. But those 5, they're going to be doing 10 different sets. How freaking cool is that? That is awesome. Now, the other thing is, these shows, by the way, will be Metallica's only U.S. festival appearances of 2020. The quartet will play on Friday and Sunday night at each event. Hetfield, by the way, was just released recently from his rehab facility, and he spoke at the Peterson's Automotive Museum, and he has an event called Reclaimed Rust. It's the James Hetfield collection, which was open to the public in L.A., and you can see the entire 45-minute chat. They've got it there. If you go to blabbermouth.net, you'll be able to check it out. But he was asked what you can expect from their next studio album. He says, that's a great question. We don't know right now. I'm sitting in Peterson's museum, and I don't know what's going to happen next. That's the beauty of this. We'll sit down and figure out what works best for us. Whatever is coming up, we don't know, and we kind of thrive off the fear of the unknown a bit and being scared just enough to feel alive. During the interview, he also reflected on his early years aspiring musician in L.A. Listen to this. This is pretty cool. He goes, I wanted to be in a band. I just knew it. It was going to happen. And I was going to make it happen. And I started playing with some friends, local friends, in a band called Obsession. And we played cover songs at school parties. And from there on, I moved on. I hung out with people who were a little better than me. That's how I learned to get a little better. I just knew that's what I wanted to do, and I was going to do it at any cost. In the 80s, LA guitar players everywhere, everyone wanted to be Van Halen. There was a million guitar players, he continued. Every band was looking for a singer. Singer needed, singer wanted. So I sold my guitar, sold my amp, bought a PA and a mic, and I wanted to be a singer. That was the next goal. And then when I met Lars, again, I told him, I'm not playing guitar anymore. I'm just singing. He was like, well, look for a guitar player, man. Then we couldn't find a guitar player that we liked. So I went back to playing the guitar. We just looked for a singer now. And then no one could sing like what we wanted. So I said, okay, I'll sing until we find a singer. It just became out of necessity. There was a need. It was challenging me to do it, but I pushed through it and I got a lot of support. And a lot of people said, this is cool. You don't need a front man running around. Why don't you do that? And that's how it kind of stuck. So people around me gave me the confidence to grow into that. So he kind of became the de facto singer. He kind of became the de facto guitar player. And then he kind of became the front man singer guitar player when it's all said and done. And this happens a lot in bands, that they can't find the guy that makes, or woman that produces the sound they want. Right? And the other day I had an interview with the Black Moods the other day, and this was not the other day, but like 2 months ago. And the guitarist was the same thing. He was telling me, man, we can't find a rhythm guitarist that will play the way we want. So I have to play lead and rhythm. And bands will do that. But that's pretty interesting. And if you're a Metallica fan, I got to tell you that if you have the money to do that and go to those 5 festivals, I would do it in a heartbeat. Any Metallica nutbag would love to go because you're headlining, so you know you're going to see a full set. You're going to see 10 different full sets. That's pretty cool. You know how many different songs when it's all said and done? You'll walk away from those 10 shows and those 5 concerts saying, all right, I whatever song you wanted to hear from Metallica, you probably heard it live in those 10 sets. It's pretty cool. I saw that story and I was like, damn, that's pretty freaking cool what they're going to do. I love that, man. Metallica. 10 different sets in 5 different festivals. It's pretty awesome.
The fact that they're coming out and, saying it, letting you know. The maniac Metallica fans are going to try to achieve all 10.
Why not? I would.
But it's kind of cool that they're letting you know straight up, this is what we're doing.
This is cool.
Because normally bands don't come out and do that.
Yeah. And you also have to think, how long do they go? You know what I mean? Because this is not the kind of band that will be doing this like the Stones into their 60s and 70s. You probably will not be able to sound and play like this much longer. So that's something that you have to take into account with these guys and take advantage and go see them whenever you can if you're a Metallica fan. These are things you have to appreciate. Because
that's a really sucky thought.
Man. I know, but it's the reality.
There's going to be deterioration.
Yeah, and by the way, James Hetfield has had some personal demons that he's dealing with, and I hope that he's overcome it. But this is not the first time he's gone to rehab. It's not the first time he's had a setback, and you don't know if he has another setback, if that ends up costing him his career. And this is why. When people tell me, well, you saw him already once, why do you want to see him again? Well, this is why. Because then the next time they can't come around ever again, you had a shot, you will regret it. Like when I traveled to New York a couple years ago to see Tom Petty and others, but Tom Petty ends up passing away a couple months later. And, that was my last time seeing Petty. And I was so happy that I was able to see him before he passed away. And here's a man that had his own demons too. So if you are a Monster fan, I would suggest you go see a couple of those shows. Definitely the one in Daytona you want to see, at least if you're in the Florida area. That's for damn sure. That's when you for sure want to see. Heat are back in action tonight. They did beat up the Magic. They controlled that game the other night, which was great, 102-89. Butler had 24 points. Myers Leonard was awesome with 18 and 14 rebounds. Tyler had 23 points on 6 of 10 shooting from three-point range. They controlled that game from the beginning to the end. It's nice to see them treat Orlando the way they're supposed to be treated in the last 2 games. I don't know what happened, but maybe they got the message one way or another, but they played against Orlando the way they're supposed to play against Orlando. Okay? You're supposed to bitch slap them and walk the hell out. And that's exactly what they did. So good stuff. Now they take on Philadelphia at 7:30. That should be one hell of a game tonight. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that game. And that was cool that last night I didn't have to deal with the Heat game because I kind of just yesterday I did 4 hours or 3.5 hours on Sirius right before the game. And then I watched the game and watched pretty much the post-game press conferences, then went to sleep. But I didn't have to deal with the Heat game yesterday early in the day or anything like that. I'm glad that, okay, Super Bowl's over. Tonight, I get to focus in. The only thing that sucks is that it's Heat and Panthers tonight. So now you got both games going on. And, and I will say this. On one side, the Heat are what they are. They're a pretty decent team. The Panthers, I don't know what they are, man. And they give me no confidence whatsoever. They got spanked on Saturday night by the Montreal Canadiens 4-0. Canadians dominated that game. Tonight they're back in action. Remember, we told you we're going to find out a lot about them now on this road trip. They're at Toronto. And Tuesday, there's a back-to-back. They're in Columbus. Thursday, they take on Vegas here at the BB&T Center. Saturday, they take on Pittsburgh. Monday at Philadelphia, and Tuesday at the Devils. It's a hell of a stretch right now going on for the Panthers. So we'll see what they are at this point, because I know that they've won and they were on a nice little roll before the defeat the other night. But one of the things that I'm not that impressed is there are a lot of bad teams that they beat during that stretch. And that's why I'm not buying them yet at this point. So we got Panthers tonight taking on Toronto, and we got the Heat taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. So unfortunately, we've got both of them at the same time. But, man. Yeah, I know. It happens a lot. Big O, what's the status for Winslow? Is his back better? I have no idea, but he's not playing, that's for sure. I mean, the one thing that you have to now learn about Winslow is he's unreliable. That's all. Somebody, I think it might have been Fernandez, maybe Chang, I forgot which one, posted something about an update on Winslow's back and this and that. And I said, well, you can't count on someone whose body is unreliable or fragile. And unfortunately, that's what Justice Winslow is. You can't trust Justice Winslow. That's it. It's over already for Justice Winslow. Until proven otherwise, he cannot be ever counted on anymore. This guy has been injured since day one. Every year he deals with injuries. He's missed an entire season pretty much. He's missed a majority of this season already. I mean, it's really a joke. It just gets to a point where you're wasting your time. And you know what's the worst part about it is? He's untradeable now. Whereas you might be able to get something if you had him healthy, because he's really an excellent glue guy. He's not ever going to be a great scorer, but man, you want him because he can defend, he can facilitate, he can handle the ball and run the offense for you. He's just not a scorer. That's the only thing, and he'll never be a scorer, but everything else he does at a high level. He's a really good player in that sense, but unfortunately, dude, your body can't stay together at all. It just gets to a point where it's ridiculous. And I'm at a point where I don't even want to hear about him anymore. Because it's just, we're done already. How many more injuries do you have to sustain for us to, be convinced that you are not reliable? Every single time. By the way, don't forget to give us a thumbs up while you're watching the broadcast there on YouTube. And make sure you spread the word out there. We do want to remind you that the show is proudly brought to you by Craig Zins, Acura, Pembroke Pines, the finest dealership in the business. No better Acura dealership in the country, man. I'm telling you, and it's right here in your backyard at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And right now, 2020 models, the ILX is $209, the TLX $249, RDX $339, MDX $349, only $29.99 due at signing, plus tax tag and registration, folks. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you they're going to take care of you, baby, at Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
Plus tax, tag title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are back. Hey, you are going to face adversity in life. I'm going to face adversity in life. Bill is going to face adversity in life. It's all part of it. And the question is, how do you face it? Do you face it with some class? Do you face it, short-sighted maybe, classless? And yesterday, there was an example of that, I thought, in the post-game press conferences. San Francisco lost. And, I was going to try to see if I can pull up the press conferences and things like that. But I got to tell you something. I was at a point where, you know what, I'm not even going to bother. Richard Sherman yesterday was terrible. Here's a guy that comes out braggadocious and, well, hey, you guys counted us out and this and that. And I want you guys with the same kind of passion, this and that. Well, Richard, dude, I want you to be professional and use the same kind of passion and understand that when you lose, you should handle it with the same kind of class. George Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo lost the same game that Richard Sherman lost. Okay, and I get it, Richard. You got toasted a couple times. They made you look kind of silly out there. You're an older corner at this point. Staying with Tyreek Hill is not an easy thing. Most of us don't expect you to stay with him, so it's really not as embarrassing as you might think it is, actually. But
how about keeping up with Watson?
Yeah, either one. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, here's the thing. When you have great success, it's really easy to brag. When I covered the 97 Marlins, Kevin Brown is the biggest jagoff you will ever meet, okay? Only Moises Alou is a bigger loser than Kevin Brown, all right? Those are two of the biggest losers I ever dealt with in pro sports, all right? Moises Alou is a total scumbag, all right, in my book. And Kevin Brown's a freaking lowlife. All right, Kevin Brown was a guy that, he had 10 strikeouts and had a great game. He'd be waiting for you, leaning on the locker room, putting his hand on his chest and, stretching out. Yeah, it was great. I got him with this outside pitch. I got him inside pitch. I got him with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, this and that. He's bragging. When Kevin Brown would lose, you'd walk into the locker room, and he'd be sitting with his legs crossed, his arms, and looking down, and giving you, one or two word answers. So you already knew what kind of an idiot you were dealing with in Kevin Brown. Right? He loved to brag when everything went well, but when it wasn't going well, he wasn't looking forward to the questions. So in the fifth inning, when you left that breaking ball hanging and he dumped it over the left field wall, what he was not going to want to go elaborate on that. But after a 7-1 win where he struck out 10 and allowed one run in 8 innings in a third, He's going to come on and tell you, yeah, no, I felt great. It was good. Everything was working. Yeah, he thought I was probably going to throw him a curve there. I got him with a fastball, whatever. Bragging. Sherman's the same way. Sherman loves to talk when it's all good. Yesterday, it was bad, and it was all one-word answers, maybe 2 words at most. I get you had a bad game, dude. I get you lost. But don't blame the reporters. Don't take it out on anybody else except yourself and the rest of your teammates. I get it. Your coach coaches with no balls. I understand that. But you're part of the loss, not just Shanahan. So answer it with, class. Jimmy Garoppolo failed on some throws, didn't he? But he elaborated, went through all the answers, dealt with everything like a man. George Kittle dealt with everything, the penalty question and everything. He said, hey, I'm going to have to live with it. But none of their answers were 1-2-word answers. They gave the kind of answers that they would give when they won. Those are the things that I loved about Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor. You would walk in, and they were pissed about a loss, but they weren't going to take it out on you. And they knew you had a job to do, and you had to ask them questions, and they would give you answers. And sometimes they weren't in the best of moods, but they weren't going to give you one-word answers and just cut you off, and that's it. No, they were going to give you the answers. And they were going to deal with adversity the same way they dealt with success. And yesterday, that's what rubbed me the wrong way about Richard Sherman. Because it's like, all right, dude, you're being a front runner. The couple weeks back, whatever it was, maybe almost 2 months ago, you were calling people out. I think we have that soundbite where Richard Sherman was calling people out, and oh yeah, here we go.
You don't worry about it. You want idiots to sound like idiots, but you want them to hold their position the whole year. Like don't flip-flop with us. Like if you said we weren't gonna make it, you said we were some way early on, just stick with that position. Hold it. Don't try to give us credit now. Don't try to give us credit now. Just stick. If you had us ranked 25, keep us ranked 25. If you had us going home early, if you had us going 3 and whatever, have us going 3 and whatever. You know what I mean? At least stick by your word, because I want you to sound like an idiot at the end.
Well, I had your ass going home last night without a Super Bowl. There you go. How about that? I stuck with it all the way to the end, and I was right. See, he's braggadocious, right? Boy, he's out there. He's front and center. Thump my chest. Kevin Brown style. What a freaking loser Kevin Brown was. Moises Alou. All right, that ass wipe. And it was a pain in the ass because in 97 when I covered the team, it was a great year. It was fun because it was World Series, everything. But if you remember that year, those of you that are old enough, of course, if you remember that year, Moises had a lot of big hits. A lot of big hits. So, he's a clutch player. Who wouldn't want that guy on your team? I don't want to interview him. I don't have to deal with his ass because he's an idiot. But listen to this. So he would constantly have big hits. So he was part of your storyline. So you needed a soundbite from him in the locker room. My man would ice his shoulder every day after the game. So every day they'd walk off the field, go into the locker room, he'd go get his shoulder iced, right? So then he'd walk out of the training room with his shoulder all iced, drinking a Presidente, and walking around the locker room talking to guys. We're all standing there waiting for him. We're done with the manager. We're done with everybody else that was important in the game. We only need a loose soundbite. He sees us standing there. This is every night. Okay? Listen to me. Every night you needed a soundbite from him. Out of those 81 games, let's say you needed a soundbite from him 50 times. because he had a hit, a game-winning hit, a run, a big catch, whatever. Alou was a beast. He's a hell of a player. So that I'm not going to take away from him. But he would see us there, and he would walk. And we'd see him, and then he'd disappear. Then he'd come back into the clubhouse, walk around. We're all standing there waiting because if you're an editor and you wrote your story and there wasn't an Alou quote in there, your editor's going to have your ass. If me, the electronic reporter, I go back to the studios and I cart up all that sound, because they were carts in those days, okay? There was no digital crap. It was a cassette deck to a cart machine, okay? And I had to go back to the studio. Not like what they do now is that they cut it up in a computer right at the stadium and email it to the producer in the studio. Super simple nowadays. But anyway, so can you imagine if I don't get the Alou soundbite and then in the morning, whether it's Joe Rose or whoever else is playing soundbites, and they're like, well, where's Alou? Oh, well, we didn't get him. You couldn't. You had to stay there. You had to wait. The guy would make us wait no less than an hour after the game to talk. No less. And we could have been out of there half hour earlier, 40 minutes, whatever. Guys could be writing, reaching a deadline. The rest of us can actually go cut up our sound. And, instead of getting home at 2 a.m, maybe I can get home at 1:15. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those deals where it just drove me crazy. And he was just a classless guy, dude.
Lack of consideration for anybody else.
He's just
that's the way them people are, man.
Just a total jerk. I got you'll never get any sympathy out of me for Moises Alou, okay, or Kevin Brown. Never. Nothing. Okay? And it's a shame because Felipe Alou was the classiest person you have ever met in your life. The first time I met Felipe Alou, he didn't know me from a hole in the wall, still doesn't to this day probably. So I walk in, we did that thing where we talked to the visiting manager. And they were done. So then I started talking to him after everybody left. Can you believe I stood there like 20 minutes talking baseball with that man? And he couldn't have been more graceful. He couldn't have been more classy. He couldn't have been more patient with a young reporter and enlightening me on something that I was asking about, educating me on something. That kind of stuff. And his son couldn't be farther from what his dad was. Crazy stuff, man. So, Richard Sherman, buddy, last night, you definitely dropped a couple of notches for me, dude. That was some of the phoniest ass crap that I have seen in a long, long, long time. There you go, Richard Sherman.
You know who was one of the worst after Super Bowl?
Who?
You remember Cam?
Cameron?
Cam Newton.
Oh, Cam Newton. Oh, yeah.
That was really bad.
Yeah, that was immature. Yeah. Big time. No doubt about that. Folks, don't forget to give us the thumbs up while you are watching there. Let's see. Jim Gleason says the reason Zach and Jason would give you answers is that they were true professionals. There's no doubt about that. Zach and Jason were as classy as it gets, man. O'Shea Morris in the house. All right, O'Shea. Ty is in the house. Ty called me on Sunday yesterday doing the show on Mad Dog Channel. By the way, did you see the Def Leppard Motley Crue concert? How it's exploding, dude. Billboard reports Motley Crue and Def Leppard's stadium tour has now sold more than 1 million tickets. The track, which also includes Poison, Joan Jett, has grossed $130 million, with another $5 million generated from VIP seats. The tour saw the fastest sellout in Miller Park history in Milwaukee, with additional shows selling out instantly in Atlanta, Seattle, Charlotte, Dallas, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Chicago, and Denver. How about that? So that is pretty awesome. The stadium tour, which kicks off June 18th in Jacksonville, will mark Crue's first live date since wrapping up their 14-15 farewell tour. The band toured with Poison back in 2011, and Def Leppard teamed up with Poison for a string of road dates in 2017, but the upcoming jaunt marks the first time all four acts have hit the road together for an extended tour. So there you go. How about that, man? Over 1 million tickets already in this one. Now,
look, I understand again, when they're in their heyday and all that.
Yeah, but let me warn you again. I just want to warn you all out there. Leopard is fine. Poison is fine. They both sound really good. Joan Jett's lost a little bit of her fastball. She doesn't have the same oomph in her voice. She doesn't have the same, that powerful growl like when she could scream like. She doesn't have that edge anymore. Of course, the woman's close to 70 years old now at this point. It's what I was telling you about James Hetfield. And imagine Metallica's music. That's a little harder to produce as you get a little older because you need some serious energy to bring it for that kind of music. That's why I'm saying that if you're a Metallica fan, take advantage because you just don't know when the end is coming. But I just want to warn you, Vince Neil does not sound good. He kind of talks the songs. Leopard sounds great, so you'll be fine, and Poison sounds great. But Joan Jett, lost some on the fastball, and Motley Crue, the band will sound good, okay? That I'll give you. Nikki is going to sound great. Tommy Lee's going to rock. McMahon still sounds good. Vince is the one that's going to, drag some ass. I'm just saying. I just want to warn you, okay? Just in case you do buy the tickets, you don't get fooled, okay? I warned you. I gave you the heads up on this. Now, are you ready for a juicy sex story?
Does it involve J-Lo and Shakira after the Super Bowl?
No, that would no.
Okay.
No, because I wouldn't be talking about that then. What do you think about somebody that is 33 having sex with somebody that's 15?
33-15.
It's a little off there, right?
Yeah, it's a lot off.
So, Rae Dawn Chong. Do you know who she is?
Well, of course. That would be Mr. Cheech and Chong fame.
Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong's daughter.
Yes. Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong has a daughter named Rae Dawn Chong, and she was a cutie in her day. She's a hottie in her day. You remember Rae Dawn Chong back in the day.
She was in the movie with C. Thomas Howell where he changes color so that he can get the scholarship because his parents take his money so he could go to Harvard or Princeton or whatever it was.
Right.
It was an entertaining movie.
Yeah. And she's been in several movies. I remember The Principal. She was a teacher. And some of those scenes, I think, were filmed in Miami High, I want to say.
With Arnold.
Yes.
She's the airline stewardess or whatever.
Yes.
Sidekick.
And she was a cutie in her day. Okay. She's a little hottie in her day, Rae Dawn Chong. So she was being interviewed, right? And she was in an interview while discussing with the Hollywood Reporter about an upcoming podcast. And Chong was asked about her appearance in the music video of Jagger's 1985 Just Another Night. She says, it was at that moment the actress accidentally blurted out that she had sex with the rocker when she was 15. So this was 1977. Mick Jagger was 33. She was 15. Chong now clarified, she says in her comments, he never asked me how old I was, and I never told him. It never came up, the actress explained. I remember thinking he was really cute. He had tousled hair. I thought, oh man, he is beautiful. He did nothing wrong. He didn't make me do anything I didn't want to do, Chong noted, fully aware that her revelation may cause controversy. It was the 70s, a different era. I wasn't a victim. I don't want anyone to get in trouble about this. It wasn't traumatizing. I knew what I was doing. I wasn't an innocent schoolgirl. I always acted a lot older than I was. I was grown up at 15. Okay? Now, she says, describing her Lolita, Chong recalled the sexual tryst as a positive experience. He had great lips. He was a great kisser, the actress remembered. He wasn't that much older than me in my brain. He was 33 and young and gorgeous with a nice body. It wasn't a bad thing. It was fabulous. It was totally rock and roll. It didn't traumatize me. It wasn't a Me Too movement. It was something that empowered me too, she explained. I knew I had the power to pick and choose whatever man I wanted. I was keen to have every experience I could. Mick was part of that. Okay? And then she admitted she felt incredibly bad about making the sexual history public. It's me and my big mouth. My family and friends knew about it, but it's not something I have ever dined out on. Interesting, huh? Do you see, that's the thing about some of these guys. And I'm sure most of these rockers had sex with underage girls because they didn't know.
I think that's a pretty safe assumption.
Right.
Okay,
in today's world, it might be a little bit more different because of social media, phone cameras, all that stuff. You probably have to vet people. You know, your people have to vet them and all that. But in the 70s and the 80s, where everything was...
Well, remember, for us,
60s,
drinking age was 18.
Yeah.
When
it was a different world. It was a different world.
There was nothing to look 18.
And I would imagine that Rae Dawn Chong had an adult life very early on. Because once you're a kid star, you are exposed to all kinds of things that are adult-like, even though you're a kid. That's why a lot of these kid stars are drug addicts and alcoholics and all that, because they're doing drugs and alcohol when they're 15, 14 years old.
Drew Barrymore.
Right.
Like at 7, 8 years old, she was already, drinking and doing drugs.
Yeah, she was already doing stuff. Yeah. And so Chong, again, if you look her up, for those of you that are young, she probably didn't, I don't know where she aged now and where she's at, but back in her day, she had it going on, man. She was a good-looking girl in those days. And if you don't know how old they really are, I can see where you can get fooled, man. I mean, and I'm sure that all of these rockers met girls after concerts, and they probably slept with a lot of 15, 16, and 17-year-old girls that they thought were probably 18 or 20 or 21. And in those days, you weren't checking IDs. Hell, in those days, you weren't even carrying an ID. In today's world, they carry IDs all the time. And you could probably vet somebody through social media and you can figure things out. But now, then, different world, man. A different world. Again, not that it was the right thing to do, but I can see where Mick Jagger would get fooled because, one, you're also banging a celebrity. So you're not thinking about age at that moment. You're thinking celebrity and rock star, because at that moment, Rae Dawn Chong was known at that time because she was already in Hollywood and getting parts in movies and TV shows and things like that. I wonder how Tommy Chong felt about that story after he heard it. And I wonder when his daughter actually told him that story. Think about that one. That's crazy. All right. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the show, hey, don't forget, give us a thumbs up while you're watching the broadcast. And, of course, the show is proudly brought to you by Choice Mortgage Bank. Call Michael Kodzi right now, man. State rates under 3.5%. 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you, they'll take care of you, man. They're good people over there. And the owner, that's the owner's personal cell number, and they do it all from wholesale, conventional, residential loans, condo loans. Nobody's going to work harder. You're going to be so impressed at what Michael Kodzi will do for you and get you into the best deal possible. State rates under 3.5%. Call Michael Kodzi right now, 561-441-2730.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodzi now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodzi can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Welcome back. We take you, of course, I don't know when we'll go, but we'll try to go as far as we can. And you know what? I'll go as far as I prepare. How about that? Well, actually, I shouldn't say it. Sometimes
I was going to say, you're not going to leave anything on the cutting room floor. We could be here till freaking midnight, guy.
I actually have a...
Think about what you're saying there, sir.
Yeah, no, that's true. You could be cutting up 4,000 segments, but no.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. No, I've only got actually a couple more stories really that are important that we got to talk about. The ratings, by the way, for the Super Bowl were pretty high overall. The average TV audience for the Super Bowl has been dropping after reaching a high watermark of 114.4 million viewers in 2015. The audience has dropped every year, with last year's Super Bowl at 98.2 million viewers, being the lowest audience of since 2007. There's a strong possibility that the ratings for Super Bowl 54 could rebound, especially since the NFL, playoffs defied gravity by reporting year-to-year growth. The two conference title games were the lone outliers, with ratings falling off from last season. 2019 regular season, when compared to 2018, the television ratings for 2019 regular season grew by 5%. Well, so we are now awaiting to see what the ratings were for Super Bowl 54, if they ended up going higher or lower than last year's because of what happened. And I don't think it's out yet, but I wanted to read this because obviously a lot of people, think that sports or football is dropping in interest, and there's no doubt it is. It has gone down. Now, the question is, has it gone down enough that they would be concerned? And at this point, because the audience is so absolutely enormous, I don't think it's going to be that much of a drop-off. I'm interested to see where it's at right now, because this is a sport that we all know it's the monster in this country, okay? We all know that it's number one by far. And we had all this, the Kaepernick stuff, and there was some of that yesterday where Kaepernick tweeted out about Beyonce and Jay-Z sitting during the national anthem and all that other stuff. And then where a couple people are like, well, I'm not watching I Stand With Cap and all this crap, which, by the way, by now, are you that silly to believe that Kaepernick really wanted to play football? Seriously? Come on, man. He wanted to do the lawsuit more than anything else. He didn't really want to play football. He never really wanted to be a quarterback again. He doesn't have the passion for the game like these other guys, because he would have gone after the NFL and still play the game, and he didn't, because he could have played it in the CFL. He could have created all kinds of problems for the NFL by going to the CFL and kicking ass, and everybody would have said, hey, why don't you go sign Cap? And you didn't. Okay, so to me, that's where, that stuff was a bunch of garbage. But the question is, what are going to be the ratings for this Super Bowl? Something tells me the halftime show is going to be through the roof, right? I mean, I kind of think that that's what's going to happen with the halftime show. That J-Lo and Shakira.
Yeah, but that always happens with the poppy wonderfulness,
No, but this is the poppy wonderfulness of two great asses.
Oh, well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying. If the Spice Girls showed up, you know how.
But I'm just saying the sexiness of this one
is the reason.
Yeah. The Spice Girls aren't going to get these kind of ratings. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of real pop group is not going to get these kind of ratings because, like I told you, the guys that went outside to go smoke
element.
Yeah, the guys that would go out for halftime to smoke or go run to go get a cigar or drink beer or BS out in the yard or whatever, they stayed in the damn living room to watch J-Lo and Shakira. The women were going to watch anyway. Right? And then J-Lo and Shakira brought some more women, but the men stayed right there at halftime because it's like, well, I got to see J-Lo and Shakira. One more thing about J-Lo and Shakira I thought about. All right, let's be honest now, okay? Because we good, bad, or indifferent, we got to be honest with each other. You know what I mean? We have been trained now, right? Nicki Minaj, Kim Kardashian. We have been trained to see, and the norm is big, giant asses all over the place, right? Have you noticed that now when you look at J-Lo's ass, you're like, it's all right. It's a nice ass, but it's not as big as it used to be. Why? Because we have now been so dialed up with all these giant asses, they actually make J-Lo's ass look normal. And we all know that J-Lo's ass was, had a little more oomph than the average ass. Because that's what also made J-Lo. It was like, hey, man, she's got this, tush that is, that kind of stuff. Now when you look at it, it's a great ass, but it doesn't look nearly as big as it used to. And it's not because of her age or anything like that. Or no. It's the same. She's had the same butt. She's had the same great butt for years. But the giant asses that we now have all over Hollywood and entertainment has kind of dwarfed what we used to call a pretty big ass. Because that's what we used to call J-Lo, a pretty big ass. A nice one, but a pretty big one. Then Kim Kardashian came out and the standard is completely different. Anybody else, did that cross your mind for anybody else out there?
The bar has been spread wider?
Yes, way wider. The bar has been spread super wide. I'm telling you, man.
Well, like Queen once said, fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. And they do.
No doubt. No doubt. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, no, not yet. Trying to see if I could find anything on the Super Bowl ratings and see if they're out yet. I know they're about to come out at any time now.
I'm thinking about it. Our standard of what is a ginormous hiney has been put to another stratosphere.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's taken that much. Yeah. Frank Clark, by the way, rips Jimmy Garoppolo over Super Bowl struggles. How about that? Frank Clark says, you paying the guy $140 million, $130 million, whatever he's getting paid. Clark told Fox Sports' Peter Schrager, he's got to throw the ball. Obviously, he didn't do that. They threw for about 200 yards on checkdowns. That ain't enough to win a game against us. Well, hey, listen, Shanahan showed us that he had no, confidence in his guy as it is. I mean, that halftime call, letting that clock run out, that was as gutless as it gets right there for Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan does not have cojones. That's the thing
You're
that does.
You're playing a team that you know could put up points at will.
Yeah.
You have to put up points every chance you get. And
Yep.
there was you know what? It was really cool that they hit that slant pattern and they got to like the 45. And when he makes the catch, there's only 14 seconds left.
Yeah.
It's like, look what happened, guy. Right in your face.
Well, and this is one of the things that I talked about with Garoppolo, that I like Garoppolo, but is he Mahomes? No, I haven't seen him do that yet, and he couldn't do it yesterday. And that's why I had to also give Mahomes the edge, because I haven't seen Garoppolo take over a game. And if you're going to beat Mahomes, your team needs to take over. So if you can't dominate with the running game, or you choose not to dominate with the running game in San Francisco's case, then you're going to need a quarterback that's going to step up and outshine this guy. And Garoppolo was not that guy. That's kind of what I ended up expecting from Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Ryan Tannehill. I knew eventually they would end up in a situation that they needed to pass. And they had to become passers, and they're not passers. So then they would get exposed and they would get eliminated. I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it. You know, and Garoppolo's a better passer than those three guys, but he's still not at the elite level. I have not seen him take over a game yet. He can be an excellent facilitator. He's got good accuracy overall, but he hasn't had that moxie where he takes over a game. And that's what I need to see from him, and I don't. So that's when Frank Clark is ripping into Jimmy Garoppolo, that's part of it. And that's why I did not think that Lamar Jackson will get to the Super Bowl and win it. That's why I don't expect Ryan Tannehill to ever be that guy, and I certainly don't expect Josh Allen is the worst one out of the three. Ryan is a better passer than Josh Allen. Josh Allen's just got a gun and athleticism, but he doesn't really know where that thing is going. And give me a break. Lamar Jackson can't even hit objects. How's he going to end up becoming a great passer in the NFL? Are you kidding me? It's nuts. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. Did you see the guy sleeping at the Super Bowl?
He paid thousands of dollars to sleep?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes. By the way,
that's part of them losers that get wasted and go to things.
Wait a minute. I got to mention this, okay? I got to mention this. Yesterday, that Super Bowl was apropos for one thing. Did you know electronically that stadium was running on 5G yesterday? I heard that. Now it's apropos. Why? Because that's exactly what it cost to go to that game, 5Gs. So there you go. Now, so it takes 5Gs to be at the game. And here's a cat that gets caught on social media. He is sleeping in the Super Bowl in the first quarter. Not the fourth after you've had 8 beers and 42 others during pregame, and you walked in there and you probably passed out. Now, to his credit, he had a seat that was backed up against the wall. So he was, he was sleeping on the wall. So he was able to lean his head back and, tap the wall and just use that as leverage so he can sleep. But how do you pay that kind of money? And here's the thing. That guy was not a San Francisco or Kansas City fan, right? That was a guy that got tickets or he bought tickets, but he just wanted to go and then realized it's really not that important for me, and I fell asleep. It's either that or you have been just so inebriated for the last couple of days, partying and all that it caught up to you and you were out in the first quarter with a whole bunch of fans screaming and all that. And the picture where they show him sleeping, everybody's like standing around him. So there must be something going on in that first quarter where the man can't respond to what's going on by standing, and he's asleep.
What was it, Wayne's World? He's partied out.
Yeah, he's partied out. Has to be. Now, here's the thing. The photo has gone viral, okay? Outside of Bill, who just doesn't keep up with anything on social media and can never be in contact, most of us in the world have seen that photo, right? Most of his friends, most of his coworkers, most of his family members, unless they are like Bill, who has his head in the sand and never is keeping up with anything on social media. So, can you imagine when he gets home how they're going to rip him? Can you imagine if he had to clear this money to buy the ticket with his wife? Because anybody that's married and you beg to do something that your wife then lets you do it because it's a crazy idea, because it costs a lot of money, because it's whatever it is, stupid things that we come up with that women tolerate us, and they just say, all right, go ahead, you big child. Go do whatever the hell you want to do. And your wife lets you go hunting, camping, Vegas, bachelor party, big game, big concert, whatever it is, she lets you do that stupid ass thing. It's like me. Okay? Honey, I'm going to Rockville. Okay? I'm going to go for 3 days to Daytona. I'm going to work, but I'm also going to enjoy myself. And there's a video of me sleeping, watching whatever. I'm not watching anything, actually. The concert's going, Metallica's going on. They're in the middle of their set, and I'm somewhere sleeping up against a wall, and the pictures go viral. Then, my wife sees that. I get home, and she's like, so you left me for 5 days to do this? Huh? This? Is that what you were doing? You spent our money to do this? Can you imagine? I mean, imagine you spend 5 G's to sleep in a game? If I'm spending 5 G's, I'm sleeping with J-Lo. Not in the game. I'm sleeping with J-Lo. Or Shakira. I'll go 10 G's. Anyway, so I'm just saying, think about this. This guy is going to be the brunt of all the jokes at his job, his buddies. Seriously. Like, hey, yeah, we're going to go golfing. You sure you want to go, man? You might fall asleep. I mean, that's just going to be the running joke all the time. Okay, how about the wife? They start getting a little romantic. All right, honey, let's go to the bedroom. She goes to him, are you sure you're not going to fall asleep? I mean, that's just going to be, that's the thing for that guy now. You had that, and you had Shakira with the tongue action creating the meme that everybody is now using that meme all over the place now from Shakira. Which I got to say, it was, it was some hot tongue action. I got to tell you, that was definitely hot tongue action. Let me tell you about VSS West Pines. Talk about hot action over there. They got a lot of hot action over there. And whether you want to roll your own, they got a wide variety. They're the largest selection of roll-your-own cigars, rolling papers like raw and smoking, hookahs, $19.99 and up. They've got all price ranges. They've got the Khalil Moon also, which is Egyptian-made. I want you to check it out also because they've got CBD, and whether we're talking about flower tinctures or edibles like chocolates and gummy bears and jelly beans and ice cream, women's face masks. In fact, my wife had one on yesterday. She was using another one of those face masks. They have the transdermal patch for inflammation and pain. CBD is not a drug that gets you high or anything like that, folks. It is medicinal, okay? It'll make you feel better. It will relieve pain. It helps you relieve anxiety, stress. You want to sleep. There's so many benefits to it. This is why I'm telling you, you got to get on down to VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. Tell them that Big O sent you. Go see the Jose's and Jason and Alex and Sasha and all the great people, and follow them on Instagram and Facebook at VSS West Pines, which you'll definitely love visiting them at VSS West Pines. All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and it's a little music news and good news. All right. I don't know if you heard. Did you hear the good news on Dave Mustaine? Do you know who Dave Mustaine is? Of course, from Megadeth, right? So Dave, unfortunately, has been battling cancer. And he's been going through a lot of treatment with cancer. I am happy to report that over the weekend, the 58-year-old metal icon revealed that he has been diagnosed throat cancer-free, or cancer-free in the throat. They had to cancel a whole bunch of tours, but after receiving treatment last year, he returned to the stage with Megadeth at the Hartwell Arena in Helsinki, Finland, on the 20th of January, and last week the band played Cardiff and London as special guests to Five Finger Death Punch. Speaking at the SSE Arena, Wembley, Mustaine told the audience he's now 100% free of cancer. About a year ago, we were working on our new album back in Franklin, Tennessee, and I started to feel some pain. I went to the doctor, and he said, "Dave, you have cancer." And I went, F, I have cancer, and I was so shocked. At first, I thought, am I afraid? And then I said, no, I'm effing pissed. We stopped the record. We stopped everything. I went into treatment for cancer. It was 51 radiation treatments and 9 chemo treatments. When it was all said and done every day, I would think I can't face not playing again, so I would pray. I know a lot of you guys that I pray. I say that in peace. Cells, I pray every day. I say that in a song. I said it since the second record, but I thought about you guys every day too, and I thought about my family, and I got the power from you guys, and I just kept thinking about it. And on October 16th, I went to go see the doctor, and he said, you're 100% free of cancer. Megadeth, by the way, will continue their European tour at Berlin's Max Schmeling Halle tonight, and then they will continue their tour. Moving on from there on out. So pretty cool that Dave Mustaine is back to touring and he is cancer-free. I thought that was freaking awesome, man. 51 radiation treatments, 9 chemotherapy treatments. So good to hear about that. I look forward to the day that stinking word cancer is just obliterated. I'm sorry, that's what I was looking for. Obliterated from our world, that we never hear from it again because we find a way to cure it for everybody that gets it. Or how about this? Maybe we can, treat people so they'll never get it. That would be really cool if we can do something like that. But let's please find cures for this. And I know we're making progress. There's no doubt about it. But, man, cancer affects us all, right? There isn't a person on this planet probably that hasn't been affected by cancer in some way, shape, or form. If it's not a friend, it's a family member, or it's a loved one. Or it's somebody.
My dad had throat cancer.
Yeah. No, I know.
Never smoked a cigarette in his life. Never, got throat cancer.
It's crazy.
And fortunately enough, he is cancer-free. Got to go back 3 times a year and get checked and everything. But the treatment fried his taste buds. He has no sense of taste anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There's.
Right, so you don't even get to enjoy food. You just eat it. That's all. You just eat it because you need something in your stomach to live. But you don't even get to, enjoy something. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you enjoy. A Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit. It's just so stupid, little things like that, but That's what gets your rocks off. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter what it is, chocolate ice cream, whatever. You know how terrible that is for your dad that he can't even enjoy, and you're just eating. You're just eating to eat because you have to eat.
Yeah, I know.
What a shame, man.
When we do Thanksgiving and it's all from scratch and everything like that,
yeah.
And my dad gets involved, and
yep.
But to not be able to, it's hard every year.
Brutal. All right, let's do this. Let's take a break. We got 3 hours down already, which is just absolutely amazing. No guests. How many radio hosts do you think, not just locally, but nationally, can do stuff like this? Where they're talking out of 3 hours, maybe we've taken, a total of maybe 8 or 10 minutes? Something like that in 3 hours? That's crazy stuff. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We got a team facing a tough decision, which may end up being a good decision for them. We also have good news in the music world for some folks out there. What else do I have also here to talk about on the program? Oh, yes. I got one more thing Super Bowl-wise I want to focus in on. That'll start hour number 4 next.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are back. We thank you, as always, for tuning in to the program. We love you for keeping it locked here on us every single day. And spread the word, man. Spread the word. Tell the folks we are here every day giving you close to 4 hours of talk, I guess, every single day, or 4, sometimes more, actually. Definitely on Fridays, it's 5 hours. So all of that. And Doug and Victoria, again, if you're watching, there's the Rush lunchbox. I've gotten a lot of really cool presents over the years. That's definitely one of them, man. You guys have taken care of me over the years. So many people have given me some really cool presents over the years, and I have them. I have them all in my studio, and I cherish them in a big time way. Hey, Saturday, Bill and I from 3 to 7 are going to be out at Marlins Fan Fest out at the stadium. We're going to be broadcasting live out there for 4 hours. So not only will you get what you get throughout the week, and Saturdays or Sundays I'll post a small podcast, but we're going to give you a big ass podcast on Saturday. So we're going to be out there having some fun, and we'll be looking forward to it, man. Can't wait. I like it. That's going to be a lot of fun. Our show's going to be more and more out on the road on all these kind of events and things like that. So you'll start to see as we, continue to grow, we'll be at different places. Montel says, "What's up, Big O? Happy Monday to you, my brother." Thank you. Mad Dog gives a thumbs up to Metallica. I like it. Myron says, "I don't know what's going to happen to my Niners' future. I'm worried. My coach worries me." Well, you got a good team. The coach, well, you should be worried about that. You definitely should be worried about that, because that guy has not performed well in his 2 Super Bowl appearances. He
doesn't have a set.
No, he does not have any cojones whatsoever. Now, Andy Reid has got cojones. All right? Andy Reid has proven to me, that he is one tough hombre, man. Okay, he's gone through personal issues. Professionally, he's had to deal with all these idiots that were going after him. "Oh, you're not a great coach. You're a good coach, but you can't win the big one." Well, he won the big one. Finally, he got it done. And he built that team from scratch. It's his identity. And let me tell you something. What I love about Andy Reid is that he is the ultimate football coach and the ultimate contributor to his sport. A lot of people contribute to their sport in one way, and they help better it, right? Whether you're a player, whether you're an owner, whether you're a coach. And you do your thing. You coach up players, you make them better. Great. You're an owner, you own your team, you do a great job. Great. You're a player, you get your stats, you help the team win. Fantastic. Andy Reid does things that a lot of people don't do. A lot of people can't develop quarterbacks. He can. He makes them all better. Think about this. Think about Matt Moore playing for him. Okay? Anybody that plays for Andy Reid plays better than what they are. Michael Vick played his greatest year, which was a good year, by great quarterback terms, a solid year. For him, it was great because 62%, it doesn't get any better for him than that. His best year was under Andy Reid. Okay? That's how good Andy is. Everybody. He develops coaches better than anybody else in the NFL. What Bill Walsh used to do, he picked up and left off right there and has produced coach after coach, players after player. They love him. They want to go through walls for him. And I think it gets to a point where all of us appreciate the big walrus. And we say, man, come on. How do you not like that guy? And yesterday, post-game, he had one line after another. I mean, it was just, he's a likable dude, man. And he's a great, great coach. And yesterday he was going into the Hall of Fame. Maybe doesn't get in first ballot because of no championship. This, first ballot. First freaking ballot. You might have had some knuckleheads that would have said, yeah, he's great. I'm going to let him get in on the second time or the third time. He didn't win a championship. Now that he won it, he is as great a coach as there is in this league. I know Belichick is the best of the best. I get it, 6 titles, all that. He was an incredible defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? He's been great at everything. Personnel, developing players, all that stuff. The guy's a monster. But Andy Reid does things even better than Bill Belichick in developing coaches and everything else. He just hasn't won as many titles because he hasn't had a Tom Brady. Now he's got his Tom Brady. Maybe he'll win a couple more now. But nobody, I mean nobody in the NFL deserved that championship, needed that championship more than Andy Reid. Not only for himself, but just to keep the nutbags away from him so they can't say anymore, well, he's not that good because he didn't win the big one. They can't say that anymore. He's a big-time coach. He's a great communicator. His players love him. The franchise loves him. And I think most people respect the crap out of Andy Reid. And yesterday, I think a lot of people that weren't obviously, forget the Chiefs Nation. We all know they're happy for everybody. That goes without saying. But the rest of us that aren't Chiefs fans, the rest of us that don't care about the Chiefs, they're not our favorite teams. We had to have been happy for Andy Reid. If you're a football fan, if you're a real football fan, you know exactly what that man has been through. So you're like, yeah, this dude deserves this, man. No doubt about it that he deserves it. So congratulations to Andy Reid. You got what you deserved, my friend.
He's the reason I was pulling for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And, you know, something, talking about it, Marv Levy, 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Oh, phenomenal. Bro.
Back in the day, Bud Grant went to a bunch of Super Bowls, never won. Marty Schottenheimer, you know?
Yeah, no, great coach.
Always,
great coach.
Always in the playoffs.
Always. And
always.
And he had to walk away without a championship, which absolutely blows.
And to get that stigma that Andy had,
yeah,
you have to be in a bunch of playoff games.
Yeah.
You have to be in a bunch of conference championships
yeah.
to get that stigma.
No, the guy is as great as it comes, man. I'm just really, really happy for him that he got what he deserved. And then also ends the damn negativity around him that questions what he is as a coach when he is just one of the great ones. Let's just say it. One of the best offensive minds, one of the best coaches out there. You know that they got a play from the 1948 Rose Bowl. Did you see that play where they spin around the 4 guys in the backfield? Now, Michigan didn't spin around in that Rose Bowl, but I saw the film of it in 48. But it shows you also that they're open enough to say, let's go back to the past because that's what football is.
Isn't it called the single wing?
Well, no, they were running the single wing, but isn't necessarily that formation was not necessarily a single wing like. But that's where Damian Williams scores on that one. Eric Bieniemy was explaining it. He said it was the 49 Rose Bowl, but when they looked back, it was a 48 Rose Bowl, where he and they didn't do the spin. They kind of shifted, but they didn't do the spin that the Chiefs actually did on that one. They added a little more pizzazz to the whole thing and ended up scoring. But again, that shows you where Andy Reid is, that he's smart enough, and so is Bieniemy, and teaching Bieniemy and everybody else to be open that, hey, you know, we didn't invent football, and we didn't invent most things. Most of this stuff was already been done in football at one point or another. You're just bringing it back and maybe adding a little twist to it or whatever. That's what's going on, basically. And for you to go back to 1948 to find a play or something that inspires you to use something like that in your game, that's coaching that opens you up to being better. You know what I mean? That you're willing to go back into the past and take some time and look at that kind of film. That's
thinking outside the box.
Yeah, man, totally outside the box. Totally. I mean, what the Baltimore Ravens did this year with Lamar was totally outside the box. There was a lot of wing T that you were passing out of, basically, is what you're doing with that. And again, this stuff that was done in the past. But they did it in a little bit of a different way in Baltimore, and they changed up some of it. Andy has that it factor at finding really skilled players, NFL-ready players during the draft, something Miami and Greer can't do. Fire Greer. But he found a ready-made coach and a ready-made Preston Williams, undrafted. No, but he can't find them. Of course not. No, you're right about that. He can't find players. Not at all. He doesn't. Christian Wilkins must suck, right? I guess. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Yeah, he really can't find anybody. What can I tell you? I love that. All right, 786-322-1105. The other thing that developed yesterday was, Andy Reid might be a living legend, right? Pat Mahomes is now becoming a young legend because here's a guy that's got moxie. Here's a guy that's super likable, has got personality. He is fearless, right? Whether he's passing the ball or running the ball. He's a guy that is confident, right? You saw him towards the end of that game screaming at everybody, finish the game, finish the game. Intensity's there. It's impossible not to like Pat Mahomes, correct? It's also impossible not to respect Pat Mahomes because a lot of us that were picking Kansas City, some of it was emotionally about Andy Reid. Professionally, you were like, dude, Pat Mahomes is a badass, right? That's kind of where we're all at this point now where we're looking at Pat Mahomes and saying, dude, that's a Montana, that's a Brady, that's the it guy, That's kind of the way we look at that young man because he has delivered over and over and over again. And to me, that's how legends grow. Legends grow because they came back from a deficit in every round of these playoffs. Okay? And you know how the legend grows? You remember how the Niners fans were throughout the week when you talk to a Niners fan? Well, if they fall behind on us, they're not coming back. Well, they came back because they got the young legend. They got the young gun. Emilio Estevez and those guys were in that movie back in the day called The Young Guns. This is the young gun in Pat Mahomes. And his legend grew yesterday because he sucked. Yeah. Because when everything is not going well, you're turning over the football, you suck for 3 quarters basically. You're the main reason why your team is not in this game and trailing. Let's be honest now. Pat was off yesterday. But that's what legends do, man. Legends don't continue to suck into the fourth quarter. Legends rise to the challenge. That's exactly what Pat Mahomes did yesterday. He rose to the challenge. He was Dwayne Wade, third quarter, midway, whatever it was, 5-7 minutes left in the third quarter, looking up at the scoreboard. What was it, 13 points down? Was it 13, ladies and gentlemen? And Dwayne Wade said, no, I'm not going down like this. Legends, man. That's what legends do. They pick themselves off the ground. When you think they're not going to come through, they come through. When you think they're going to fail, they succeed. When you see they're struggling, they find a way to overcome. And that's Pat Mahomes. I mean, if you don't know, or if you can't tell by just seeing it, I can't help you. But here's a guy that players rally. Here's a guy that players believe in. Here's a guy that not just fans, not just Kansas City fans, but you and me believe in him. He's not my quarterback. He's probably not your quarterback, but I bet you want him as your quarterback. I bet you want him in a key moment. And the kid's only in his second year starting. That's a young legend right there. When you have, in your short span of playing, you overcome constant adversity. You constantly make big play after big play after big play. You can't explain Magic Johnson. You can't explain Larry Bird. You can't explain the late Kobe. You can't explain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and that hook that nobody's been able to duplicate. There are things that the special ones do that we cannot explain. You can never explain Russell Wilson. You can't. You can't teach Russell Wilson. You either have the magic or you don't. It's a strange thing, but you can't sit there and teach Pat Mahomes to dodge tacklers, recover from all of that, find somebody downfield and make a play. You can't when you see what's the name of the Houston kid? Deshaun Watson, Malachi Crunch, and somehow stays standing and then delivers a strike downfield. Can't teach it, bro. Can't teach it. Can't coach it. That's not something that Bill O'Brien developed. That's not something that Dabo Swinney developed. Deshaun Watson had it, period, because it's who he is. And his legend is growing too, because he's one of those kind of guys. And that's what this kid is. He's just special, man. He is a living young legend already. He's Michael Jordan on the side of the key, hitting the game-winning shot in a national championship game as a sophomore, right? I think he was a sophomore, if I'm correct. No, he was a freshman.
He was a freshman with James Worthy against my then Georgetown Hoyas.
Yeah, he was a freshman, actually.
Patrick Ewing, a freshman.
Yes, he was a freshman hitting that shot because you can't teach it. You can't coach it. You can't explain it. You either have it or you don't. And Jimmy G may have looks over Pat Mahomes. That's about it. But he doesn't have that it quality, that legend quality, that when you see certain guys, you just say, they're just that guy. You know, you can't do anything about it.
Killer stat I saw yesterday.
What's that?
Yesterday is the 8th time that he has faced a top 5 pass defense in the NFL. You know what his record is against top 5 pass defenses?
What is it?
8-0.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's why he can do this.
Where are you going?
Something I've wanted to say my whole life. I'm going to Disney World.
Can I go with you?
Yeah, everybody.
I wonder how Disney World was today. Right? I would imagine that the KC fans today loaded up in the car and drove over there. I mean, I would.
Yeah, sure.
I know. Well, I would have had somebody else drive because I'm probably all screwed up. There's no way I can drive. But we would have had to have somebody designated to drive that's kind of straight and take us over, and then we're kind of inebriated standing there in the
And be part of the 17 million people that are missing work the day after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And by the way, folks, if the Dolphins do win the Super Bowl, you don't mind if I take a day off? Can I take a day off? My crazy ass probably won't even take a day off. That I probably will do a podcast we'll do a show no matter what. Okay, because by then.
Yeah, but it'll be a show of us like just hanging out and smoking cigars and.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. It'll be awesome. Yeah, it's coming, man. Our Dolphins. Hey, if the Chiefs erase 50 years without a title, okay, Dolphins can do it too. We're up next. All right? Couple years, you'll see. We'll be celebrating a championship. And we'll be like, finally, we got it done. Nice job by Pat Mahomes, man. He is impressive, I tell you. You know who is kind of fortunate in one way or another? I don't know how you want to look at it. Maybe some of you will look at it this way. Some of you won't. Just to switch gears a little bit, I read where the Dallas Cowboys now are leaning to franchising Dak Prescott. And while I tell you that Mahomes got that it quality, I can't tell you Dak has that. I haven't seen that. Dak can make some throws, but I haven't seen Dak be the guy that elevates everybody around him like Pat Mahomes. And now they're saying that they may end up franchise tagging him, which is not what the Cowboys want or Dak. The Cowboys obviously don't want that because that's hard cap money that you have to now set aside. So there's no playing with the first year you could pay him, $7 million, and that'll be against the cap. But then next year it goes up dramatically. You know what I'm saying? But if you tag him and it's, let's say the tag is $25-30 million, that's exactly what you're going to take from the cap this year, $25-30 million. So it's going to take a hard chunk of money off your cap that you will not have flexibility with. And the strange part is that the Cowboys, with all the players that they have to re-sign still, and the players they've already signed to long-term contracts, I think the Cowboys are like the fourth or fifth team in the NFL with cap space. They're like in the top 5 with cap space still, which is great management, by the way. You got to give them credit there. But this, I think, becomes a blessing in disguise. I know the Cowboys may not look at it that way because, again, they've got to set aside hard cap money in order to give them the tag, and they can't play with the money. So I get that. But because Dak has played well, but I'm still not convinced that Dak is an upper echelon quarterback. I still think he's a solid quarterback, not a great quarterback, but you're going to pay him like a great quarterback. And then that's where you get into the Kirk Cousins problem. That Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback. He's not a franchise guy that carries you. He's not a guy that if you're down by, 10 or 15 points and he's going to start bringing you back, he's going to start picking people up. That's not who he is. He's kind of it's what he is. He's a facilitator on his best day. So I find it strange that you would, worry so much about that unless you're more worried about re-signing other guys and that this stops you from doing that. And that maybe you can create a more cap-friendly deal that if you're able to do it, you can kind of get out of it if Dak doesn't convince you in a couple years. With this, that becomes a little bit more of a problem. Be interesting to see how this whole thing works out between the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. But for me, I don't have a problem with tagging him. I really don't. I think it's something that doesn't really hurt the Cowboys. I think it's going to end up helping them in the long run because it gives them another year to assess Dak Prescott. And if I'm them, just in case, if you do end up tagging him, you should draft a quarterback just to kind of have yourself prepared just in case. And if it does work out, then great. You have the quarterback, and then you can trade him if you want, if you create something out of that. But I would do something along those lines with Dak Prescott. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. And remember to give us a thumbs up if you're watching the broadcast. Whenever you're watching the broadcast, the podcast, all that good stuff on YouTube, give us the good old thumbs up on that one.
I'll tell you why I don't buy Dak.
Why? Why don't you buy Dak?
He's got an exceptional offensive line.
And
the
running
best
back.
running back.
Mm-hmm.
Great receivers. There's a defense on that team.
Not great receivers, but good receivers.
Very good receivers.
Yeah, good receivers.
And he's probably not ever going to have the kind of talent he has around him like this again.
Right.
You know? Right. And look what you've done.
Yeah, like I said, he's a good facilitator. I don't think he's yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think a tag becomes a blessing in disguise. But if I'm the Cowboys, I draft another guy.
Oh, you have to.
Just in case.
Yes.
Just in case, draft another guy.
I think the reason that they are tagging him is because, like the rest of us, not all in yet.
Yeah.
Bottom line. If they were, the way they got Zeke done, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He's hanging out in the islands and blah, and no, we got to get this guy. And it's done. And like you said, they got cap space. So if they were sold, I think that this would be done, right?
Yes. If they were sold on him and he was franchised, Jerry pays you, dude. Jerry pays you. He paid Jalen Smith already. You know what I mean? So it's not like he pays everybody. You get paid there. That's not Mike Brown and the Bengals. Let's put it that way. Okay, that clown. Let me ask you something. Any of you out there, are you all, or any of you out there, Abba fans? If you are an Abba fan, there is good news, because Benny Anderson from the iconic group says that Abba will be releasing new music for the first time in like 35 years. In a clip shared by Abba Talk, the Swedish musician was asked about new music. And a couple of years ago, they said that they would have new music, and it never came out. He says they're coming, he answered in his native tongue. They're coming this year. I'm guessing after the summer, but I can only guess because I'm not really sure, but I would think so. Asked whether he could promise that they would be out in 2020, he replied, one shouldn't promise anything, but if I were to decide myself, it would be September. He added, I can't make that decision alone, but that's what we're aiming for. So the clip is there, but he's talking in Swedish. So unless you understand Swedish, you will not be able to pick it up. And then it's been 35 years since their last studio album. I don't even know how they're going to sound. He says it's new music, that it's not like old stuff that they had on the back burner sitting there and they didn't complete it, or it was remastered. It was stuff that they left on the cutting room floor after making other albums. No, supposedly it's real new music. Okay? It's interesting to see how they would sound. That is one band. I don't know if they could do it now because they're really, they're up there in age. Because if I'm 53, they've got to be in their 70s already, right? I would imagine.
Oh, easily, man.
I would imagine.
It was early 70s. Like, we were single digits, man. Not even the 5 or 6 when they were huge, right? 72, 73.
No, and later 70s. No, they were making music into the early 80s. Remember, it's 35 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're just going.
But
80,
they started off.
Years,
but I'm saying their
35
start
years
off
is 85.
But their start off
is 85.
Is early 70s.
Oh yeah. Maybe 60s.
So we're looking at probably well up into their 70s.
Let's see. They formed. 72 in Stockholm. Okay, So there you go. 72. And let's see. Benny, who was talking, is 73 years old. I told you, they've got to be in their 70s. Frida, let me see where Frida's at right now. Frida's 74, so she's older. Bjorn is 74. And Agatha is 69. She's the youngest. The blonde, by the way, for those of you that don't know. Okay? How about that, dude? That's pretty amazing. They're going to come out with new music. The folks that are fans, this is the one of the few bands in the world that if they wanted to tour, now again, they're kind of, they're older now, but if they wanted to tour, let's say 10, 15 years ago, they would have filled every stadium in the world 3-4 times over. That's how big that damn, I'm sorry.
Oh, they were the record. They were set records and all kinds of ridiculousness.
This is one of those bands that worldwide, very few bands have their success. I mean, worldwide, I don't even know if there's that many bands that have as many songs as they do in different languages. They sing in Swedish, in Spanish, in English, in Italian. I don't know how many languages they've had hits. It's crazy. I'd have to look it up, but they did it in several languages. Let's see. Abba was the first group from non-speaking English country to achieve consistent success in the charts, including English-speaking countries, United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the United States. They have joint records in 8 consecutive number one albums in the UK. The group also enjoyed significant success in Latin America and recorded a collection of their hit songs in Spanish. Abba was honored at the 50th anniversary celebration of the Eurovision Song Contest in 2005 with their hit Waterloo, chosen as the best song in the competition's history. Okay? They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010, and in 2015, their song Dancing Queen was inducted into the Recording Academy's Grammy Hall of Fame. Now, this is a group unlike almost any other in the world, in the history of music. It's crazy. I don't know how many. I got to look it up here. I mean, their bio is so damn long. I don't know how many albums they've sold, but it's a lot. It's a boatload. Big O, how do you feel about the Hall of Fame inductees? Well, my man, you have to go back and listen to our podcast. We did all that stuff already, and you can hear it there. We did it a couple of days ago, and it's a shame that that Zach Thomas did not get in. But I've got all of that there. Again, it's not a regular radio show where we constantly are repeating stuff. So we kind of move on, we talk, and we move on to the next subject. And so if you want to hear, usually whatever you want to ask about, I usually have already talked about it, and Bill has posted it over the last couple of days or a week. And just go back to SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and you will find the segments there. All right, well, we got to thank our guests. There you go. We thanked our guests on our program. I mean, what the hell, there's a lot of guests here today on the show. We did 3 hours and 40 minutes of talk with no guests whatsoever. You tell me, okay? You tell me how many solo hosts can actually pull off 3 hours and 40 minutes of talk and give you all kinds of subjects with very little breaks.
You have to remember, this is
our
talk. Hours.
This is real talk.
This is our hours, not radio.
Yeah.
If we do radio hours, we actually did 7 or 8 hours of radio. Okay?
Yes, I just did about 7. Yes, there's no doubt we did that. Yes, it's about 7 hours of talk right now. If you had to include those half-hour commercials in every hour. Yeah, it's a good point on your part, dude. We did about 7 hours right now. Anyway, everything will be podcasted. It's already being podcasted as we speak. We thank all of you for tuning in, watching, listening, downloading anytime. Send us a text on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. And, of course, reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Remember, follow us on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Big O Radio Show. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel. Be good out there.
Have a good one.